And we're live.
Welcome back, Ghetto Rig, episode number 63,
Let's
guys.
go.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you again for being here. Support is much appreciated, truly.
Thank you, everybody who supports us and likes to come in and participate with us. We really appreciate that.
You know, people that share. I heard that you guys' friends, one of them just somehow did it where he posted a link to the Discord.
Justin has a Discord that he just recently opened up, and he is basically because he started streaming as well. He got like a whole full stream set up, and he even got all like the overlays done for his Twitch stream and stuff, which he had some guy get done, which looks really nice. I was helping him set it up, but he basically made like a Discord that is supposed to be for like content creators, and where you can basically go in and post all your stuff, and then it automatically actually like does notifications every time someone posts something, right? So you don't actually have to go in there. Like every time I was posting a reel today, it was automatically going into the announcements channel and like automatically going in there. I didn't have to do anything, which is really cool. I appreciate that, Justin.
Yeah, thanks, Justin, for doing that. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
For some reason, he hasn't figured out how to where the lives do it. Like right now that we went live, actually I want to post that in the Discord. It doesn't do it for some reason. I don't know why, but for like any clips I post that are like a few minutes, it'll go on, or any shorts, it'll go right on. I don't know why.
No kidding. That's awesome. Yeah, thanks, Justin, for that, and to everyone that's there in a chat live. Definitely talk to us. We'll respond back to you.
So
subscribe,
get
all that good
started
stuff.
today.
Mm-hmm.
You are leaving us tomorrow, Mr. Asatrayan.
Well, tomorrow not yet. Tomorrow I'll be still here. I'm actually leaving on Saturday midday, so that's gonna be a whole day of traveling.
Tomorrow.
No. It's Saturday midday. It's gonna be a whole day of traveling.
28th, okay.
Yeah.
29th, okay.
The total trip actually starts. First flight is at 2:30, but Arthur has to go to Orlando, so he's dropping me off in the airport. But he's going earlier, so he's probably gonna drop me off like 3 hours before my actual first domestic flight. And then once I'm in Newark, New Jersey. By the way,
are these like basically like, for example, I've done connecting flights in the past, like going to Dominican Republic and stuff, and like you don't have to grab any of your luggage or anything like that. Like you just go to the next plane. Is that the same case, or did you like book the flights separately, so you're gonna have to like book in and book out again or whatever?
No, it's
all connecting.
Yeah, all connecting. You just it goes with these type of international flights, when you are taking several flights, I think it's better to just, can you save money by, booking it separately? You can.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a pain though.
It is, number one, it's a pain. Number two, the amount of money you're saving. It depends, I guess, how motivated you are. And number three, you have to kind of like make sure you have enough time for you to go grab your luggage, because you gotta have to exit the secure area, grab your luggage, and then enter back in. Yep. So all that's gonna take time, and depending what airport you're in and how busy you can get.
Who knows if you'll be able to make it in time for even your next flight, right? Like
exactly.
It's a gamble, depending on how close they are.
Exactly. So that's gonna definitely add to the total travel time, which is
You got any plans over there? You got any plans
you
want to hit?
Yeah. So August 1st, my buddy's getting married. So which means
that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a couple of days before that. Hopefully I'll acclimate with my sleep, because it is 7 hours ahead of us. So the plan is for me to fly or to drive to Latvia, which is probably like 2 hours away.
Okay.
And then the venue of the wedding is about an hour and a half away from Riga, which is the capital of Latvia. So as of right now, I don't know if I'm going to stay the night there, because they got this place that has 23 bedrooms or 26 bedrooms or whatever, 28 bedrooms. My buddy said you can stay if you want. But most likely, if I'm driving, it's going to be my uncle, his driver, and myself. So if it's two of them, I might stay. But if it's just my uncle, I might say, hey, F it. Let's go back, hang out with my uncle at the hotel, figure out something there, and then return the next day. Right?
And you're going by yourself, right? And nobody's tagging along with you?
Correct, yeah. I'm on my own. I don't know if I think there are people that I kind of know that are going to his wedding.
But you're not really, more like a solo-dolo trip in total?
Yeah, so
don't really know much except for the groomsmen.
Well, one of the things is the person that I know is for sure gonna be there is my buddy's ex-wife, and
I don't know how much you want to serve yourself, so
yeah, thank you. I don't like it's against the bro code. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not gonna be communicating too much with her. you know, his son is there. I'll definitely take a picture, send it to him, you know, with his son and whatever, you know. So his son is actually the godson of the guy that's getting married.
Okay.
So 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 the kid is there, but my buddy's like, well, my ex-wife is going, my son is going. I don't want, like, you know, it's like, it's just weird and awkward. We're friends, you know, but I don't want to make this a issue, right? So their divorce wasn't amicable whatsoever.
Was
so,
it?
yeah. So
It wasn't a friendly one.
no, it was not a friendly one. Let's just
Put
put it that way. Yeah. So
Why? I'll show you later.
so basically,
It's
so
in
I'm
a
not,
drawer right now, Mom.
so there are some people that I've hung out with my buddy a lot. This guy, you know, I've known him for many years. I hung out with him a lot more than any of his friends that are going to his wedding, right?
You guys partied back.
What's that?
You guys partied a lot back then.
Well, we still do. When we meet up, it's just a shit show. You know what I mean? Because he's a big dude. He likes to drink.
What's his name?
Arthur.
Arthur.
His name is Art.
Oh, another
Art.
Just like your brothers, like
Yeah.
spelled the same and everything.
Art. Yeah. Well, no. His name is Arturs. So in Latvian, it's not really Arthur. It's Arturs. It's like
Okay.
like a version of
Okay.
Arthur. You know. But so he likes to drink, he likes to party, he likes to hang out, he likes to laugh. Like, I've never seen him in a bad mood. He's always got a smile on his face, you know. He's a contractor, actually, super good one too.
What
Like,
is his like specification, or he just does it all?
he does it all, but his thing's always been, you know, like, get to the point where he's just building the houses from ground up.
Okay,
And I
so he's
understand
doing
why.
the entire project.
Yeah, and I understand why, because you know, when you're dealing with
Sorry.
when you're dealing with houses that are already pre-made, because you never know what people have done, then you have to sit there and guess what they've done and how to go around it and what to do. Now you're adding your own thing. So, but when you're building from the bottom up, I totally understand why you would want to do
Yeah.
that.
Damn, Jay, look what's on our For You page. We should be looking at all day.
What is that? Is that
That's
the Ghetto Rig one?
That's Ghetto Rigs For You page.
I don't look on Ghetto Rig anything. I think you just
Maybe one of us looked at.
Suggested
I feel like one
content.
of us looked at tattoos one
something,
day.
and then you just
and
kept
then that
coming
was
up.
it,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So, oh, I know what it is. I think Randy sent me a tattoo of this girl that got like a octopus tattoo right here that goes
Octopussy?
down where the mouth is. So I think that's it. It opened into Ghetto Rig. So,
Pull something up on the stories.
Anyways. So that's what's gonna happen. That's August 1st, and then I'm there till the 9th. So I'm gonna chill with my uncle probably. And with him, you never know. Like, he's always up to something. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one
Your
of those
uncle
things. Like,
definitely always likes to have a good time. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
What's the craziest thing he's done?
craziest thing he's done. None of the things that he does are really crazy, but all the things that he does are super fun, right? Like, so
Is he a big prankster?
No, not at all.
Serious man.
Yeah, he's pretty serious, but he likes to joke a lot. Like, you know what I mean? So one of the things that he does, he doesn't do it anymore. I haven't seen him do it in a long time. So back in the day when he first started going to college, you know, university in Lithuania, he was part of the a cappella. A cappella is basically like the group of people that like play instruments, and they would travel throughout Lithuania and perform, right?
Okay.
And he played an accordion. So his thing with playing an accordion is he'll fill up a shot glass with whatever it is, whiskey, vodka, set it on an accordion, and just go to town with an accordion, right? Without dropping the glass and basically not spilling anything out of it.
Okay. I'd like
So
to
it's
see
not-
this happen.
Yeah. I mean, some drops do fall out, but the cup always stays.
Stays
And
full,
he'll
okay.
just play that whole thing, and then at the end just drink the shot.
Okay.
He hasn't done this in a very, very, very long time, right? I want to say at the very least 15 to 20 years he
Oh,
hasn't
really?
done this. Yeah, but he used to do that, which was kind of like that was the party trick that he would always pull, you know what I mean?
Okay.
They would have to convince him to do it, but that he would do it.
Ah, okay. So it's one of those things that he
They had to
kinda
get him
grew out
drunk
of.
enough,
He
and
kind
then
of grew out
convince
of
him.
eventually, and then now it's like only on special occasions.
Well, back then was on special occasions too. He didn't really like to do it, but then he would get a couple of drinks into him. The party's going, and people would be like, "All right, you should do it." Nah, man, I'm not. And then just they would bring out the accordion and just throw it
Peer
on him, and
pressure.
they're like, "All right, just do
Peer
it," you know,
pressure.
and he would do it. Yeah. But one of the things that he's done, one of the crazy things that he's done, we're sitting down with his buddy, and his buddy, I don't know how the conversation started about France, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to go to France?" And they're like, "Yeah, I don't have nothing to do." So he's like, he gets on the phone right then and there's like, "Hey, I need you to book 4 tickets to go to France. Also book this specific hotel. You know, get us a driver." And the next thing you know, the next morning we're on a plane going to France.
That's crazy.
So
That's crazy.
yeah. So, and you know, we flew out there.
Shit. Jay gets to live that baller life around Uncle.
Yeah. And then his friend smokes cigarettes. So the funny part was his wife bought him a vape so he can, you know, because he's chain smokes. Like this man chain smokes.
Yeah, one of those guys just never not has a cigarette in his hand, right?
Exactly. So she got him this gigantic vape that looks like big red lips. You know, that's what they look like. So this guy was in a plane going like this, pulling in and then going down and going underneath the seat. And we're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well," he goes, "this way they can think that the person in front of me." So yeah, but the friend is a prankster. So all of his friends are like always happy. They're smiling. They're joking. They're telling stories throughout the life that are like super funny. And these are different walks of life. Like, you know, you have people that used to be, you know, back in the day, he knows people that made their money not so legal, now they're legal.
Not the conventional way.
Not the conventional way. And then you have people that are like, you know, a director of a huge radio station or TV station, you know what I mean? Like things like that, politicians and the elite, you know what I mean? So people that do show up. So he has a restaurant, and a lot of people like to go to his restaurant because they trust him and they know that this restaurant doesn't have any listening devices, any cameras, nothing like that. And so when they're meeting for business deals and things like that, they like to go to his place because
it feels
they know
a safe spot. Yeah,
it's a safe spot. Yeah, so a lot of people show up there, and which includes the good ones and the bad ones. So a lot of people will come in sometimes, and he'll be like, "Oh, I can already tell who these guys are. Like they're out here to spy and see who's sitting here." Like to that level, like where there are people like coming in
just to see who's there,
and
what's
and
going
they'll
down.
pretend they're eating food, but you can tell they're not really eating food. They're just observing what's going on around, listening, and at that time, conversation, like the minute somebody like that walks in, the conversation completely changes. Like they would be talking about something, and then they're just like 180 degrees talking about something completely different.
Just trying to play it off. Not even really caring to talk about anything.
So I've never seen that in real life until like I kind of hang out with him. It's not that it's his thing. It's just once you reach a certain level, you kind of have to talk to everyone. And he's a very well-known doctor, so no matter what happens, they all come to him. Okay. Like literally, the good guys and the bad guys come to him because he's a doctor, and he's a really good doctor as well. So everyone needs to be healed, right? So he helps them, and at the same time, they know he has this restaurant where everybody's like can be pretty safe. So anyway, so that's the whole thing with him. So you never really know where you're gonna run into it. Overall, he's a really super nice guy. He's never done anything wrong in his life, like never done anything incorrectly or in a wrong way, or done any type of business the wrong way, you know what I mean? So it's always been very honest work.
Since I've known him, I noticed the biggest thing about him I noticed is he always likes to see the people around him happy.
Yes,
right.
He thrives in it.
It's like my father with the thing on Fridays. I feel like it's the same thing, right? Like, and his is on a whole nother extreme.
Yeah,
his is way more extreme than my father because my father's the kind that checks in on everybody, but you know it's more of like the adults, right? Like your uncle's having a conversation with everybody to see how they're doing. Yeah. From top to bottom, little kids even like.
Yeah, I was about to say, is he the type of guy that just gets down? He's like, "Hey, yeah," and he talks to the kids.
He talks to everybody.
To everyone.
He tries to have at least some kind of engagement with everybody.
Yeah, like naturally.
That's a whole conversation, but in the engagement.
So not in a bad way. Naturally has this characteristic of a chameleon. So whoever he's talking to, he's able to adjust his conversation to that level, right? Like, so if he needs to dumb it down, he'll dumb it down. If he needs to bring it back up, he'll bring it back up. But he's very chameleon. Like, he knows, he just natural. I don't think he does it. He does it just like he does it specifically. Like, I think he just naturally adjusts to the tempo of the conversation.
Some people are very good at reading the room and can adjust to it.
Yeah. And I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think he reads the room. He just naturally does it. Like, I don't think it's something that he thinks about. It's just subconscious.
Yes, I do. I agree. I agree. I don't think it's something he actually attempts to do. It's just how the way he is with all these different people.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and then it's, as long as everybody around is having fun, conversations, everything is good.
Like I said, he likes to make people happy. He's a big gift giver. Right?
Yeah,
like
huge.
And he just enjoys
Like
making others
enjoys
happy.
seeing
right?
other people happy. Like that brings him happiness when other people are close to him are happy. So with him, that's why it's like, you know, it's trying to be like, what do you want to do?
I
know?
can see that's where I see that you get the very attentive personality from. Like when we're out somewhere and someone says they want something, but they're not very like honored about it. Like you're more honored about them than they are. Like if someone like me or Emily, especially one of the girls, will say like they want a drink or they wanted some sauce with their food. Like you're one of the people that are very like, hey, get them this, get them that,
Yeah.
like trying to make sure everybody else is comfortable
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
see that that's where that comes from.
Yeah,
Because your uncle's
maybe,
like that a
yeah.
lot.
Maybe, yeah.
Because your uncle's the same way. When we're outside at a restaurant or something, and someone says they needed something, like he's the first person looking for someone,
for the
or
way
he'll tell
they-
you to do it.
Yeah, or tell me to do it. Yeah, so yeah. So that's yeah. Maybe I never really thought about it. I mean, that's something. That's crazy.
You see what I'm talking about?
I never
though,
really
right?
thought about it. Yeah, like I do it because like somebody needs something. I'm like, what do you mean they need something? Like,
There you go.
You know what I
It's
mean?
the
Like,
same thing.
yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, because I like my thing is like I don't want to break the flow of the conversation, especially if we're having fun. I don't want to break the
You're trying
flow
to
of
keep
the
the fun
conversation.
as high as
keep that at
possible.
the same level, you
Yeah.
know. Like I don't want them looking around and stuff like that, you know. So I get on there and get it all done. But yeah, so with him you
Cheers
never
to
know.
your uncle.
Yeah, cheers
over
to
there.
him for
You
sure.
all see him soon.
Yeah, cheers to him for sure.
Cheers.
So-
I got water.
I don't know like what he has in plans, but whatever he has in plans is gonna be fun. And then at times when he works, I'm usually chilling with his.
Yes, and his daughters too. Your cousins are amazing. Emily was saying. I shout out Emily.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying he's amazing, and so are his daughters. I love when they come. Yes, Jay is just like him.
Yeah, so but I think the girls are grown up, so like they're in their teens now. So I haven't really had like the last time I had a conversation, one of them was 13, the other one was like 11, 12.
Okay.
So they're just getting into that teens.
Yeah.
Now it's been 2 years. Like one of them is almost 15, the other one is gonna be 14, 13. So
Okay.
like, bruh, it's gonna be like,
Be prepared.
yeah, be prepared, type of deal. So we'll see how that goes, you know.
I mean, they're getting to that age, especially the older one.
Yes.
She's getting to the age where she's gonna want to probably hang out with you guys, right? Like she's probably pretty soon she's gonna get to that point where she's like,
y'all don't know nothing.
Y'all don't know nothing.
She's probably already there.
Yeah, exactly. Like you never know, but it's around that age,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Around 15 that they start getting like that. Every teenager. It's not like women or girls. Like every teenager just gets like where they don't want nothing to do with their, not nothing to do with their family, but like you're not the cool people to hang out with. Right?
Yes, yeah.
So and you don't understand them, this and that. So it gets interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. You know, hopefully they already have their own personalities and they'll be like, bye, Felicia. You know,
Super
like,
smart.
Yeah.
They're super smart.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see how that goes. But with him, I don't have like even if we don't do anything, I already know like people that are gonna come around the restaurant and stuff. Like I'm already gonna have fun. Like I don't need to do extra stuff. I already know it's gonna be.
What other
packed.
they speak multiple languages, not only Lithuanian and English, right? They speak other languages
Girls?
as well.
Yeah, they speak Russian as well.
Russian as well.
So what happened when they were growing up? One of their nannies was a Russian speaker, so she taught them how to speak
Okay.
Russian as well.
Okay.
So they speak fluent Russian, fluent English, fluent Lithuanian.
No, and real fluent English, like
Yes. Yeah.
better than people that have been here for
Yeah,
20
yeah, yeah.
years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're going to an English. They're going to an American, like literally an American school.
Oh, okay.
Like the entire system is set up as an American school, and the only time they speak Lithuanian, which is the national language, is during the Lithuanian literature class.
Okay.
Everything else is in English. Math is in English. Chemistry in English. All of that is in English. So
You
that's
see
all they're
that
doing is
in
speaking in English.
you see that in a lot of schools around the world, right? Especially when you get into schools that are, like private schools and
Yeah.
boarding schools and stuff like this that are little people with a little higher class and stuff like that. Most people speak English, and not even higher class. Just a lot of places like around the world that even just a little bit of money, like their parents, the first thing they're looking for is to put them in an English speaking school.
Yeah.
Like, even in Dominican Republic, that's like I've met a lot of people that went to school and their school, the whole thing is in English.
So I think you have two types of people. One that's like, well, I want my kids to know a second language because it
gives
shows
you
it
gives you like a hand up on majority of people around the world, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so-
it sadly does.
it's one of those things like the visual where you're like, okay, well, my kid speaks English, so automatically now your family is considered a little more intelligent because your kids speak in English and they're a little more intelligent. But
I can see how that stigma is presented.
yeah,
Right, right.
but the second part is they understand that English is probably the most used language throughout the entire world, and they understand that. Listen, this is like almost a necessity for them, like breathing air
Yeah,
or
and
drinking
it's like
water.
the likelihood you find yourself somewhere
When you're
that
gonna
doesn't
need
speak
it.
your language, that where you're from, the likelihood that they speak English, it could be very high compared to every other
Yes.
language.
Yeah.
Right.
And in most people in those higher echelons, they do speak English no matter what country you go to. Somebody that's in a more upper class or are dealing with negotiating with business and things like that, it's very rare to see somebody at higher status that doesn't speak English because they have to do that to get the business across the borders, right? So,
Real quick before we go into anything else, I know you had some stuff you wanted to talk about. Quick thing, the fight this weekend is gonna be a good fight. You're gonna be flying while everything is going down, which I mean you could
yeah.
technically still watch it by paying for that pay per view.
Yeah.
So, but the fights are good, man. So you got Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje for
Yeah.
that BMF
So with
title
that,
bout.
yeah, with that, my buddy keeps sending me this kid apparently on Instagram. Like he talks about betting, which I do not condone. Do not fucking bet.
I see.
or do
I have
any of
follow.
that
Not
shit.
I follow, but a lot of those guys come up on my For You page and stuff.
So this
You see your
kid
fight,
was
Miggy?
saying, like you gotta look at what's going on, right? Like because where they're fighting, it's in Utah.
Okay,
Elevation is almost 5,000.
got you.
So Justin Gaethje trains at elevation 5,000 plus.
Yeah, yeah.
Where Poirier trains at elevation 13.
Well, last time
In
we
Louis-
had somebody that
in-
trained at
in
high
Louisiana,
elevations,
right?
that didn't really
He trains
help
in
him.
Louisiana or Florida, I think it is one of the two. I know he's
Florida.
from
He's
Florida.
in Florida. He's in Florida. He's
But he,
training
like,
in Florida.
was
Gabe,
raised
Gabe
in
Quarles
Louisiana
or
and
something
stuff
like
like
that.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He's original. So what
I
the
think
kid
it's,
was
like,
saying,
Hollywood or something
yeah,
like that.
what the kid was saying is like you got to look at that elevation because of the oxygen, like lack of it or having it.
Question is though, is where was their first fight? Because they
I don't
fought
remember.
before.
Yeah.
That'd be a good thing to compare to, right? We'll see.
So it was saying like that elevation might play a component in who's actually gonna might end up winning or losing.
This freaking card has 3 guys that were former interim title holders. So Justin and Dustin, and then Tony Ferguson. He's also fighting. I think it's Bobby Green, a smaller black
Yeah.
dude, a bunch of tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
He's fighting Bobby Green. Then you got like Kevin Holland and Michael Chisea, which is funny. I saw this stat. So apparently Michael Chisea has 0 knockouts, right? Like all his wins are from decision. Or maybe submission. And so they were like comparing the stats, like one guy that has 0 to one guy that has plentiful. Apparently, like Kevin has like 14 KOs. And so a lot of people are looking at this fight like, damn, it's either gonna go like, because Kevin's last fight with not Wonder Boy, but his last fight was Ponzinibbio, but the one before that with Wonder Boy, they had like that whole agreement where they were gonna stay standing the whole time, like gentleman's agreement, right? And then Kevin like broke his hand, and so he started shooting, but he was already too tired, and his hand was so fucked up he couldn't even like. You could see in the fight he would go for a single leg, and the moment that hand would hit his leg, he would like pull it back and like winch in pain, and then the only one hand is grabbing onto the leg, and so it's interesting, right? Because Kevin's gonna want to stand and bang, and then this guy Michael's like no knockouts under his belt, so everybody's assuming that he's probably gonna want to grapple. So I'm interested in that fight. They have Derek Lewis on the undercard.
My balls was hot.
I don't know. Yeah, my balls was hot. Why are you taking shorts off, Derek? My balls was hot. I saw that and I was like, no way they like let them say that on live television. But it's a good stat card. And then you have Jan Blachowicz against Pereira. This is my thing. Anyway, I think we talked about this before. Either one of them loses and they're talking shit about Izzy.
Yeah. So
Jan wins. Jan, now they're gonna be like, oh, Jan can beats both of them, right? Like both middleweight champs don't have shit against this guy, blah blah, right? Pereira wins. They're gonna be like, well, look what Israel tried to do. Israel beats him once, right? But they're 3-1. And then when Pereira moves up and fights the one guy that beat Izzy and beats him, everybody's like, well, okay, we know who's the better fighter, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe that, that we real fight fans know that that's not how that works. Like, because I beat you, but you beat Miggy doesn't mean I beat Miggy.
So with Izzy, so here's the thing with Izzy, right? Like, what's his name? What's that white guy? He's like fucking crazy.
Sean Strickland.
Strickland.
So they're talking about so Izzy wants to fight in Sydney in 6 weeks. But so they were trying to get Duplessis. Duplessis won't do it, and then I guess
It's too close.
and then Sean Strickland won't do it either, right? Apparently they don't. The terms weren't right, and Strickland won't do it either. So Izzy doesn't have an opponent for Sydney.
So Strickland, like, I don't know.
Strickland's talking shit too, talking about someone fucked up in the UFC. They got this big main event in 6 weeks with the champ, and nobody's there to fight. And someone fucked up.
Yeah, well, see, the thing with Strickland was talking hella shit when they took Izzy and when they had him fight with Pereira. He was talking hella shit, saying, well, obviously they're going to put him with me, blah, blah, blah. So we know how this is going to end, so I don't get a like, Sean Strickland, I think, is a good fighter. He's a great fighter. But the problem with him is, like, he's got too many of these conspiracy theories in his head and, like, pretending that the world is against him somehow and this and that. It's like, nah, bro, you're just not that good. And then there's this whole thing like, well, they're bringing all these foreign fighters that are taking our jobs. Nah, bro. UFC was never a fucking United States thing. It was an international thing.
Real quick, you saw Pereira said that if there's someone to beat Adesanya, it's Sean Strickland in that weight class. Pereira is behind Strickland on this. You know, they trained together after Pereira knocked him out and stuff.
I just don't see
you
it.
You seen what Strickland says about every Brazilian? He calls them like especially like Pereira, the bigger dudes, like that big, scary, dirty Brazilian. every Brazilian to Sean Strickland is a dirty Brazilian.
Yeah, because he's got this thing that like Brazilians are given like what you want, like a preferential treatment. Like,
think so? That's his view on it.
Yeah, and this whole thing, like in jiu-jitsu, that exists as well. Like in IBJJF, everybody thinks that Brazilians are given this preferential treatment because
right,
they're
with the
Brazilian.
whole name Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right?
But it's not. It's not that. Like, you gotta understand, these guys, literally, like, for them, it's like, okay, here's the thing. If somebody came up to you and said, well, no, let's look at it this way. What would be the difference between you wanting water and needing water?
Wanting water
and needing water.
Wanting water is I've had some water in the past few hours and I just want some more. Needing water is I haven't had water in days.
Yes.
And I'm about to pass out because I don't have water.
So
right?
for these Brazilian guys, a lot of times it's like needing water to be winning. So they put in that hour. I'm not saying they're the best, but they put in the hours. They train. They understand like this. This is their ticket.
Because of their kind of lifestyle, the situation they're put in. This is something that to them is a lot more of a risk than it is to an American.
Not it's more of a risk. It's more of a like. I think they're more interested to make it. The reason they're more interested to make it because this is the only option they can get out of in the situation that they're in, like in poor conditions, Brazil, things like that. Because majority of these fighters, they come out with the poor conditions. The same thing happens with jiu-jitsu, right? The reason some of these Brazilian guys are so freaking good is because that's all they do is train. Like, they don't have any other job. They don't have anything else. That's all they do is freaking train. Train. But with us, we have a different lives, and this is more of like becomes a hobby. And if it doesn't become a hobby, you better have some good sponsors. They're going to sponsor your lifestyle, this and that. These guys live like on somebody's couch, on somebody's floor. You know what I mean? Like in conditions that no fighter would be caught living in the United States, right? So
I don't know. What I see Sean Strickland as is a guy that's always just he wants to call it as it is, and it's not gonna like take anybody's shit for it, like as what he thinks it is.
That's it.
Right?
That's what's going on.
Right. So he never. That man has no filter.
Yeah,
literally,
Zero
literally.
filter. I mean, he came out on
filter.
Joe Rogan and said, "I would want to." Like, I kind of want to see what it feels like killing someone. Like, straight up said that on Joe Rogan.
I watched their whole podcast. Yeah, that dude definitely wants to actually, wants to know the feeling.
Yeah,
of killing
like
someone.
he's nuts. He's crazy.
Do not cut that dude off in traffic. He is waiting to strike someone down.
Yeah, so he's crazy, and then he has all these. Especially if you watch that podcast, he's got so many conspiracy theories about this and about that. I'm like, bruh.
During the whole pod, it's funny because Joe's like telling him, like, dude, like you are this bad person, you say, right? And it's like you've accepted this and you continue on, like you just don't care anymore. He's like, I don't think you're actually like this. Like, you're actually a good person. Like, stop trying to put yourself down. Because he talks a lot of shit about himself too, right? Like the same shit he says about like, oh, dirty Brazilians. Like, he tells you, I'm white. I'm fucking white trash. Like, he says the same thing, right? And Joe was kind of like telling him, like, bro, like, stop being so dark. Basically, like that was like the thing he's trying to get on across to him, like it's not that serious. Like,
yeah. And that's him though. Like, I don't. Can you win against Izzy? If we're to win against Izzy, this would have happened by now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I don't think like it's not that he's pissed somebody off. Like he pissed Dana off, and Dana won't put that fight, won't make it happen. Like there's a reason why this fight is not happening, and I don't think the reason is that Dana is butthurt. If Dana stands to make money on pay-per-view, he would make money on pay-per-view.
The fight, they tried to apparently make it happen, right? Like apparently they were in talks for this fight, right? Like, and the terms weren't just there. Like I saw Sean Strickland had a whole interview with a girl, with that one girl that he always talks to. And she's blowing up right now. She's talking to a bunch of fighters. She had actually an interview with Bobby Green too. That's blowing up right now.
Yeah, and she talks hella shit too, like but in a funny way.
No, she's funny. Yeah, she's fucking funny. Hilarious. Cause she plays along with it. She's never, of course. Like when Sean messes with her, she like stabs back at him, kind of thing. So it's good. She knows how to mess with fighters, right? Like she doesn't have business. So, but I saw that he was talking with her about the deal with Izzy and stuff, and that he was basically kind of like saying, if they pay me enough, this and that, like. He was saying, like, if they pay me, I'll fight him today. Like, I just have to be paid enough. Like, I just want the right terms. And then I saw today, because this interview I saw it a couple days ago, I saw today that he tweeted that they didn't give him the right terms. I guess he even said something like, we can fight in the parking lot, but not under the UFC banner. Because they didn't pay me right.
Here's the thing. So apparently, what's his name? He's going to, Ngannou is going to go fight Tyson Fury, and that's a $20 million payout. It's already said in the...
Yeah, that's what Francis will get?
Yeah, it's $20 million payout. And I think with $20 million, Francis is, like... I think Francis is going to be... I've never seen him as, like, very eccentric. So he's going to be set. He's probably going to say, that's fuck you money, and I'm out.
What do you think of this, though? What if Francis had... Do you think Francis will continue to have the mindset of, like, I need to still be paid more, even after getting the fuck you money? Or will he... Because look at it this way. Look how much more often... you fight as a UFC fighter, right? Like, these guys can fight upwards of 3 times a year sometimes, right? Like, it doesn't happen very often.
Unless you're Burns, then you fight 4 times a year.
Yeah, unless you're Gilbert Burns, and you'll fight, like, every month, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that, as we talk about Burns, I saw that same girl, I think it was, asked him, like, oh, what do you think of the BMF title about to happen, blah, blah, and, like, his response was, like, I'm the real BMF, right? Because, you know, he beat Masvidal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened with Masvidal in that whole BMF title, because if you hold the title and then someone fights you after and beats you, shouldn't they then take your title? But like the whole thing was because it wasn't like what I'm assuming, because of the context, because it wasn't a 5-round fight, because like Gilbert posted before him and Masvidal fighted, like, oh, let's make it 5 rounds and put that title on the line for it, and then Masvidal posted like, oh, you don't deserve, not that you don't deserve it, but like we're not doing that, right? But I think it was after he got that BMF title, like, he fought Kobe, didn't he, after Nate? And, like, they don't give it to Kobe. Like, then he fights this guy, Gilbert. They don't give it to Gilbert. Like, how does the whole BMF title thing work? That doesn't...
I think it's just, like, a special event type of deal.
And then Masvidal tried selling the BMF title as, like, it's a real big thing. I mean, I guess he has to, right? Because he got it. But, like, they were talking about... they asked him about the whole Justin and Dustin fight. Like, oh, what do you think about the BMF title? It's like, oh, yeah, it's a great thing, blah, blah, like, selling it. And I just keep thinking about, like, how their BMF title went. And he sold that, too. Like, oh, look at how it happened the first time. And they're doing it the second time the right way. 2 badass motherfuckers from the game, OGs, blah, blah, blah. Which is right. The equations are right in the way he's putting it. But at the end of the day, like, look how their fight actually ended.
Yeah.
Nate had to not go to the next round because of a cut. Is that really, like, bad motherfucker shit? No, it's not. Which, not to say Nate Diaz isn't a bad motherfucker. He's one of the baddest motherfuckers in the UFC ever. But, like, you know what I mean? The whole context of it, the way it was played out, what made you rethink of the ideology, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So anyway, wait, where were we? Sean Strickland, talking hella shit. What else?
The Bobby podcast?
Huh?
Yeah, we're talking about the Bobby podcast?
Bobby podcast.
Or what was her name? You guys, well, there was something about the podcast with Sean.
Oh, that
Rogan?
Yeah, when he was on Rogan, he talked hella shit, man.
No. After that, what were we talking about after that?
We went on a whole different rant. It's all right.
Yeah, I lost it.
It's all good.
That's what happens. This is why I shouldn't be drinking, because then I'm just like out.
There's no way that's hitting you.
Yeah, bro, because I mean, I haven't had drinks in a while, and you know.
Yeah, but it's gotta give it at least
that first
more than just
buzz,
half an hour.
You know?
Damn, we're live half an hour already. I like it. It's good.
So anyway, so let's see what's gonna happen over the fights. You know, the Easy thing, man. Like, Easy right now is enjoying his time, and no one is really dethroned Easy completely.
It's Chael Sonnen, I think it was, said this. I saw a quote. We're still talking about Anderson Silva now. In 10 years, Israel Adesanya will be that Anderson Silva. Or sorry, not Anderson Silva. He said we look at John Jones as the GOAT now. In 10 years, we will look at Israel Adesanya as the GOAT.
Yes. Now,
that's what he said.
I think... So here's what's happening in these weight categories.
They need more.
You have a fighter that's like undisputed. Like, you know, all of these categories pretty much have a fighter that's undisputed, nobody can fucking touch.
Yeah, you can go to each weight class and find some undefeated guy.
Yeah, so like you have Volkanovski, no one can touch him with a 10-foot pole. Yeah. You know what I mean?
His losses, I think he had one loss at the beginning of the career.
Yeah.
And then his only losses are the only other loss besides that is when he went to
decision
Islam.
with Makhachev, yeah.
Yeah. Which was a very controversial decision because it's a close fight.
So no one can touch him with a 10-foot pole. Easy, no one can touch him with a 10-foot pole. In 154, right now Makhachev is, I don't know, maybe it's like a 2-foot pole, and not really a 10-foot pole.
Nobody can touch Makhachev and Charles.
Yeah,
that's basically it, right?
Yeah, like, I think if they fight.
Yeah, but it's crazy, right? Like everybody was like hyping up Beneil so hard. And, like, even, I think it was Dustin or Justin Gaethje, one of those guys, right? The guys about to fight this Saturday. It was, like, talking about, like, oh, I got Beneil on this, right? Like, they were hyping him up so hard, first round finish.
Yeah.
Right? And not to say that Charles made it look easy, but he made it look good.
Yeah. And then you have Izzy there, and then now you have John Jones that's going up in a higher weight class. He's going to dominate that, I think.
What do you think about light heavyweight? Because Jamal Hill vacated the championship. They were talking about how they should just make Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira for the championship, like this fight coming up.
Yeah, they do, and I think Blachowicz has been the champ pretty much like the entire time.
I think they still look at Yuri as the official champ, right? Like fight fans are probably just because he's the last one who had the title and never lost after getting it. You know what I mean? Like he also vacated the title like Jamal Hill.
Yeah, well, Prohaska is another guy that they can't touch with a 10.
So I think that what we're gonna see is probably either Jan or Alex will fight Yuri for the title. That's what they're probably gonna do. And then when Jamal recovers, whoever wins that fights Jamal.
Yeah. So the whole thing is like you have this one guy that nobody really can touch, you know, and it's just like the difference. So the best way I can say is like the difference between number 1 through 5 and between the 10 through 6 is like huge, and then you take the difference between really 1 to 3 and then 3 to 5. That's another just as much of a jump, and then you take number 1 person. I feel like it depends. It's a huge jump on a competition.
I feel like it depends on the divisions.
On a division, yeah. When you take like what's his name?
Like if you do like 125 division,
yeah,
right. Like they're you seeing
they're changing hands all the time.
Then, like, 135 with Aljamain and these guys, like, that shit's all over the place, right? Like, nobody really knows, like, who's the top guy, right? Because, I mean, Aljamain is the top guy, right? But, like, a lot of people still look at, like, the whole thing that happened with him and Petr Yan as a big controversial thing. Like, that would have changed the course of that division. And then, like, the controversial between Sean O'Malley and Petr Yan. Like, if Petr would have won that fight, he would have got his chance again at this title because they're going to fight in August, right? Like the next pay-per-view after this one is Sean O'Malley and Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah. So, like, even if you look at it, Aljamain technically, even Petr Yan was destroying him. Aljamain Sterling, nobody really could touch Aljamain. Even what's his name came back and it couldn't touch him. What's his name?
That fight was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and he couldn't touch him. And this is an Olympic wrestler. You know what I mean? He couldn't touch Aljamain. So the only thing that flip-flop, even in this flip-flop section, like you have, what's his name? You had in 125, you have
Brandon Moreno, Figueiredo.
Well,
Figueiredo's actually moving up. I think he's going up to 135.
Yeah.
But you have Moreno, Figueiredo, you have the new champ, Pantoja. You have Kai Kara France that's up there.
Yeah, so Figueiredo, Moreno, and Pantoja, like you can tell these 3 guys are just kind of like...
That's a good That's a good example of like I beat you doesn't mean you beat me kind of thing.
And that's the only weight class that you can kind of say that's what's going on, because every other weight class is just like that's the champion, that's that. Like no one can touch it, like with the 10-foot pole.
I think that the one we haven't seen, we haven't given a chance to yet to see how that plays out is Makachev still.
Yeah.
Because his title reign is still relatively short. His only defense has been against Volkanovski, a guy that's technically not even in their division yet.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to see how, because they already have Charles Oliveira versus Makachev too planned out. And so I want to see how that's going to go. I think that, so Charles hinted at him not being himself during that first fight. Like something was going on. Nobody said what happened. Maybe it was an injury. Maybe it was a mental thing going on, something in his life. Who knows? But something about that, like, you guys are going to see a different me in that fight is what he's saying, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, he was walking around with tigers and rodeos, you know what I mean, right before the fight.
This is my thing. If Charles comes back and wins, and let's say he finishes this guy, how do you think that Volkanovski versus Oliveira fight will go?
I don't know if Volkanovski's gonna want. Well, he's gonna want to come back to get this double belt, and
but
I think that's gonna be the time.
He has said it. They asked him, "Is it more about beating Islam or the title?" And he goes, he kind of answered it was both. That yeah, he wants to go for the title, but then he right at the end he was like, "But it's more Islam."
Well, because everyone knows like Islam is the like everyone says, "Well, are you like Islam?" You know, because everyone is comparing the new fighters to Islam, right? So they have to like not only win the title, but they also have to beat the guy that everyone is comparing them to.
And he already, like, from his side beat him, right? Like a lot of people saying, and not only his side, a lot of people saying he beat him, right? Joe Rogan agrees.
Joe Rogan, yeah, I was gonna say Joe Rogan came out and said third round was. I thought third round Volkanovski. I thought Volkanovski won 3 rounds.
Yes, 3-2.
So,
And the biggest thing is a lot of people are saying too, like, so is Joe Rogan, we need to start changing up the judging system because they don't take into consideration how the fight ends.
Yeah.
Right? How did that fight end? Volkanovski was smashing him.
Yeah. He kind of was, yeah. I don't know, man. We're going to have to see, like, there's going to be a bunch of changes. Oh, by the way, talking about the fights, I did watch Full Send Pod
and
with
Andrew
Schultz.
Good. So we can talk about this because we've all seen it. What did you think? Who do you think was the antagonizer there? Now, not only was the antagonizer, who do you think it was faulted to?
I think he done fucked up when you looked at his phone.
Who?
The kid?
Steiny.
And then he tried to say that, oh, he's looking at his notes. And then at the end of the pod, he says, well, I just sent a text message and you got mad. It's like, motherfucker, you're already lying.
Okay, so this is I saw that. I actually did peep that when he at the end was saying, like, so when he first said, he was kind of defending himself, like, oh, I was looking at my notes to ask you a question, and then at the end he did say, like, oh, when I answered a text when you got mad, blah, blah.
So he was lying
but
already.
How would Andrew know he's answering a text and not looking at notes to ask something?
So number one, that's rude. So Andrew pointed out it's rude, and then he came back and said, you know, like, I'm looking at my notes. But then Andrew's like, he already said that. He's like, well, right from off the get-go, I thought, like, you have, like, I think this is what happened. Andrew walked in a room, and sometimes you know how you get a vibe from someone that there's something about it, like you don't know what it is. You call it a spider senses, and you're like, bro, I don't like this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? I just don't like this fucking person. I think that's what happened to him when he walked in that room, and just had that thing like
and so
already
off
going
the bat,
in.
that energy
like off the bat,
already...
his hair were up on his back, and he was kind of like, "Is this kid fucking with me?" You know what I mean? Because I thought the questions that they were asking were kind of dumb. I agree. Like, they were dumb questions.
But if you go watch Nelk, like I was watching
that's their thing.
That's them.
Yeah.
And if you realize, I think it's weird because I was watching them today when they had recently had Aiden Ross back on with Rice Gum. So Rice Gum is making a comeback. If you don't know who Rice Gum is, Rice Gum, one of the OGs of YouTube, basically.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, a lot of people give credit to him on that.
Nah, he's not an OG.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
He doesn't get the street
The
pass.
point is that you have to notice that Andrew started talking about the topics he actually wanted to talk about. Like, he talked about the alcohol and the politics that so he wanted to talk about that, but then fucking Steiny kept bringing back the conversation to, like, something that Andrew was steering the conversation towards, right? So Andrew was going one way, and then Steiny was probably the person that was like, well, I don't think they really want to talk about this because the way they're answering, because, like, you saw what's his name, he's like, yeah, Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but he wasn't going into detail. So
This is what I
Steiner was
was-
jumping in
This
and
is what
moving
I
the
mean. If
conversation
you watch,
away.
like I was watching that pod, and I was purposely paying attention to the dynamic because the first like 10, 20 minutes of the podcast was just Kyle and Steiny talking. And that's exactly how they talk to each other with nobody else around.
Yeah.
That's exactly how they talk to each other and I was almost like sitting there like, damn, that question was kind of weird or that statement was like pretty obvious, but that's how they communicate.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a way that, and it's like we look at it as obvious, but that's just the way they look at like how they view it. And maybe when we're talking or someone else like Schultz is talking, they look at them like fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they're so used to getting content. They're just living in that content lifestyle that anything that they do is a bit to get the content. So they're never really natural, and they always go along with each other, whatever kind of joke they have.
Well, if that was the thing, because, you know, he came back and said to Steve will do it. It's like, bro, like, you really get it. And the entire time, Steve was just quiet, sitting there. And it was like, bro, like, he goes, nah, man, I'm just shy. Like, he's just being genuine. And like, Schultz had nothing to say to him. He's just being genuine. Like, what are you going to say to somebody that's, like, being honest with you, straightforward, and they're, like, not hiding anything? How are you going to make fun of somebody that's just like, yeah, you're right, bro. Like, that's how it is. Like, you can't make fun of someone like that. But then you have Steiny that's, like, trying to come at an angle because he's trying to weasel himself in. And then you have Andrew Schultz probably that walked in already didn't like Steiny. So like I think that what happened was just a clash of two things that just kind of like smashed together. And then Andrew tried to talk about something and what's the guy's
But this
guy's
is
name?
the thing. My defense to Steiny is that I feel like a lot of the questions he was asking might be looked at stupid, but it's just what he maybe feels like the fans maybe want to hear because that's what the questions are doing.
He was also one of the very few people talking, if not the only one.
Oh yeah, so Steiny was the main one talking. Kyle did some talking, but Steve did none. Right? Like,
Yeah, Steve did none, and he straight up said, "Hey, listen, I don't do podcasts, and if I do podcasts, I don't talk." It's like even with my podcast with Donald Trump, like I really like him. I gave him a watch, and I didn't really talk. I was so nervous, I didn't know what to say. Blah blah blah. And then, but with Steiny, like I think Steiny was trying to move away the conversation from what Schultz was asking about. Schultz wanted to continue in that route.
But Schultz didn't really bring any topics except for like open-ended questions on Nelk.
He did, but then he also started. Remember, he started talking about the alcohol. That seemed to be very interesting to him. Everything else didn't matter, but that whole alcohol thing, where it was like, guys, you made something about this.
And that's a lot.
And he
that's
went
when,
into it. You
that's
could
when
tell,
Kyle
like, he's
talked
naturally,
a lot.
yeah.
That's when Kyle was.
Well,
talking.
that's what I was saying. Kyle wasn't really talking. It was like, yeah, bro, it's a lot of politics, yeah, bro. But he was being very short in his answers. And that's when Steiny would chime in and bring in new questions. Because when he's being short, I don't know if there's this dynamic, and Steiny and Kyle kind of understand when he's like being short, he doesn't really want to respond. So Steiny will jump in and then steer the conversation away. Schultz wanted to stay on the subject. He's steering the conversation away. And Schultz took that as like, oh, he's trying to get all the attention. I think it was just a dick comparison conversation there.
But this is the thing. I found it weird that like Schultz, like you said, was very quick to dismiss him in the sense like I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to be nice to you. Like
yeah.
And Steiny was almost like felt bad. You could tell he started to feel bad and was like, "This is not how I'm trying to be, dude. Like, why are you taking?"
Yeah,
this?
so I think it was just one of those things. He walked in, he just got the vibe, you know, and off that vibe, he already was on a defense, and I think that's what happened. I think he just like carried over with that. So it is what it is.
From the beginning, I feel like Andrew was like didn't like the kid, right? Like that was like the initial.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
right?
I think
like
that's what happened. Yeah.
I have a crazy conspiracy.
What is
Hit me.
It's a very crazy but fun conspiracy.
Hit me.
Aliens are real. The Travis Scott concert is experiencing some, complications possibly.
At the Pyramid of Giza and stuff like that, right? Like they were trying to do it and they got canceled. I saw that.
So I think the aliens, built the pyramids, and I think the aliens are trying to keep people away from their fortress.
If that were bro, how many? Look up. You were in front of a computer. Look up how many people visit the pyramids of Giza every year.
Yeah, but at that scale, maybe they have something underground, because the issue was that they couldn't get, I think, speakers or something like that.
No way, it's some technical thing. That's bullshit. That's cover up. The reason they're not doing it there is some kind of actual political thing, I think.
Well, it could be political thing, or it could be another thing that some scientist said, well, if you blast it with this gun, we don't know what's going to happen with the stone. It might vibrate too much and like fall apart. So you got to think about it. That's a historical thing. Like, I don't think it's an alien thing. I think it's just I think it's just part of the
Well,
science.
if you ask me, it's very suspicious on how they put together that pyramid. That's a whole nother story. That, if you ask me, there had to have been some kind of outside influence.
So don't you think that aliens, now that they got outed by the government, which also transitions into this?
I heard there was some bullshit behind that, but go ahead.
Now that the aliens are outed, don't you think they're trying to keep something like secret? Maybe.
Nah, bro.
No?
Nah.
I like where you're going.
Listen,
Mickey. I like where
No,
you're going.
now I'm gonna phase into this question. My mom said, "Why is the government trying to hide aliens from us?"
So the big conspiracy around it, I think the biggest voice that says why they're trying to keep it from us is not that they're trying to keep it from us. They're actually keeping the conversation in as a topic to keep us distracted. This is something I've heard a lot, and this is something you hear in a lot of other topics on like controversial topics in America. It's just like, oh, they just put that there to keep you guys arguing within yourselves,
Yes.
to keep you distracted on what's really going on.
Yes,
That's what I think is
I
the
agree with
majority the majority of the conspiracy.
Yeah, but her thing is, like, why are they keeping it away? Why are they keeping it a secret?
We'll keep
Why
it
are
what secret?
What's so important about aliens?
Well, number one thing, if they did exist,
Fucks religion.
yes,
Fucks a lot of religion.
they're consumer based, because literally that just straight up says that God doesn't exist.
And what was the
So
what
you
was the
think-
number
so
one
you-
big way used to control people around the world?
So you
Religion.
think it's not the government; it's more of a religion.
I think that that's part of it, right? Like we still see how religion is involved in politics today,
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure.
So basically, if you start talking about aliens and shit, it decredits a lot of shit in these different religion ideologies. What I'm trying
Yes.
to say. So it discredits a lot of that shit. So basically,
And it's not just United States.
no, it's the
It's
whole
the world.
fucking
It's
world.
the whole fucking world. So
And the whole
every
world-
single religious person out there, like, literally has no basis in saying that their religion exists.
There you
No
go.
one.
There you
That is
go.
interesting.
There you go. And so when you start stacking up stuff like aliens and you put that such a big topic against them, shit.
Yeah. So here
They already hate science.
So here's the thing with aliens. Like, laws of physics apply everywhere in a cosmos, right?
There
Like,
you
it's
go.
unequivocal.
Within
Like,
our dimension. at
yeah,
least.
the laws of physics apply, right? And by simply by light, by refraction of light, we can tell when looking at the other planets through a telescope and things like that, that majority of the planets are the same way as ours, like hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, oxygen, right? At varying levels. So the point here is that the life form on another planet has to be carbon based. So when they're saying we have DNA or body matter of another alien being, is what they're saying, that they have DNA or matter of Earth, like, because it's carbon based matter, right? Like, it's carbon based matter. So the whole thing here is like, is the
What's up,
DNA set up?
Gideon Clips?
Is the DNA set up a little bit different? It could be just it could be that this person that came out, like this CIA director or whoever, came out and they probably, it could be that they didn't know about a experimental flight or something. Something happened with an experimental aircraft that landed. Now he thinks it's an alien ship, right? Like, I don't think aliens are here on Earth. I don't think they can make it to Earth, like, because laws of physics. And
So
I think they're
apparently-
all kind of like us.
Apparently,
so.
you guys saw the clip. You're the one who sent it originally, right? Like, is this real? Is this bullshit, right? You sent it in the chat. The guy talking on the...
Yeah. The head
Board.
of CIA or whatever the fuck it was.
He's part of CIA, I think, or whatever.
Yeah. And what CIA got to do with fucking aliens? first of all?
Anyways, apparently, this guy not leaked information, but they asked him questions.
Yeah, he's a whistleblower. Yeah.
And, whistleblower, there you go.
His last name, I believe, was Grush.
I don't know the guy's name.
that last
Bruce.
name doesn't even, like, I already don't trust him.
He sounds like he's the alien.
Yeah. He
This
sounds
guy-
like part of the lizard people.
This guy's probably a robot AI.
Apparently, this guy got this information from secondhand, and then the information that person got was from secondhand. This was something given to us by Alex. Shout out Alex. He basically Justin came in the chat, and today we were in Discord when I was clipping up a bunch of stuff, and Justin came in there. I was like, Eddie, I want to talk to you about this, blah blah. One of the other topics I have for today, really good. I'll bring it up after this, and the other one was basically the whole thing. Oh, did you see that? Da, da, da. And Alex right away. He's like, yeah, apparently that's bullshit. This guy's not like credible.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's not. I
And so
don't think he is.
Justin,
I don't
was
know
right-
if he's
Justin
not-
was right away. He was like, "Fuck you! I don't care. I want it to be true. Why you gotta come in here and ruin my shit?" And then he kind of said like, "Oh, Alex is one of those conspiracy guys." Da, 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 da.
No. So like, I don't know if the guy is credible or not.
Apparently, he's not.
But I do agree from the shit that he's saying, like the shit that he's saying, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, because
There's gonna be some digging into this, I think.
You're
And that
gonna
we're
be
s-
digging.
And in the next week, we'll see like the real story behind what this guy's saying, or why he's a kook.
yeah, and I don't know, man. The guy is a fucking retard. So, oh, sorry, did I say the R word?
It's okay.
But I don't
We're
know.
not
I don't
making any
believe. I
money
don't
yet.
believe in it. I don't think the aliens. I mean, do aliens exist? Yes. I mean, I don't even know if the aliens exist. I'm more like the idea of the AI. You know, I think that's more
wanna go into that
plausible.
conversation.
I think that's more plausible.
So I have two AI conversations for today. You want to pick the one about bitches or about cartoons? You tell me.
Start with cartoons.
Cartoons?
Bitches.
Okay. So Justice, the one that Justin actually told me about. Shout out Justin. Credit to him on this. He told me that there's this AI that you can go in for South Park. You know South Park, the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
That you can go into this AI and basically give it like the pretenses of a script and an episode, and the whole AI will spit out a full episode of South Park about what you told it.
Oh shit, that's cool.
And so we got into the conversation of basically like the whole writer strike and the actors and actors strike that's about to go down and stuff, right? Like, what do you think about this? Because we were saying basically like, sorry, but you're fucked.
Yeah, you are fucked.
I mean, sorry, you're fucked. Like, it's just one of
Yes.
those things. Like, if I can pay the AI $30 for a year subscription and now it writes me as many scripts as it wants, or now I gotta pay you
For what?
40,000
Yeah.
to write this script, like, and then now I gotta for each one, right? Like, this AI can probably do
Mm-hmm.
this, write this South Park thing in maybe 10 minutes max, 15 minutes max. I'm assuming it probably
Yeah.
takes for it to do it. Who knows? Maybe it's an hour. But even then, like, maybe it takes a fucking 3 hours to write a whole movie. It doesn't take no writer to write 3 hours to do a movie. It takes a month probably.
So here's the thing, like,
You're fucked. Sorry.
yeah, in a car in a car in car. So this is the thing. This is right along the lines with UPS. Guess what is the average pay for a average pay? Not not necessarily talking about them.
You could use our Instagram.
So
Instagram's probably the easiest. Or Instagram.
guess, Miggy, between you and him. Don't look it up.
Video and clips.
Guess what
Appreciate
is
it.
the
Shout out him.
Average pay for a
Appreciate you
UPS
being in here.
person. Average pay.
Average pay for a UPS person. So UPS driver is what I'm assuming, a driver or like any
Yeah,
kind of employee.
employee.
Any employee. So this guy could be working warehouse too.
Sure.
I don't know.
$25 an hour.
What do you got?
Are you going hourly or are you saying
Hourly.
Hourly, okay. Are you talking about annual salary? Salary. Yeah, I could maybe say anything between $18 to $22 an hour.
$49. $49 is the average pay for UPS.
How many high paid employees are they having to fuck up this average? Because like the median is not this.
That's what I heard today on PBD. But
Average
anyway.
or median? Because this is, you know what I mean.
So
like,
here's the thing.
average can be kind of
And then
skewed
they add
sometimes.
it.
You know
So
what
if
I
you
mean?
have a 5-year contract, after 5 years, if you have the contract, goes out to 50 something.
Oh, so they're really
per
talking
hour.
about like base employees.
Yeah. So they just
Our UPS driver has
Wow,
worked for
man.
UPS for 30 years.
Huh?
Our UPS driver at work, he's worked for the company for 30 years.
Yeah, because they pay really fucking well. That's the whole idea, right?
Didn't you? Not to dox
So the
someone, but didn't
union-
you
so-
say like someone was maybe talking about going to UPS the other day? One of your
Vic.
friends.
Yeah, Vic.
Yeah. So they pay
Yeah, you
really
doxed
well.
him.
And then the whole thing is like they're part of a union, and union just renegotiated a deal, and it's like crazy amount of employees gonna get that 49 or whatever. Like they're gonna get bunch of money, right? So that's average UPS job. The reason I mentioned this is because in a manufacturers, right, like Chrysler, Ford, and everything. Back in the day, they used to have a person that would sit on a chair, and as the cars would came with the assembly line, they would put a sticker right on the door. You know that inside seal? They would put that sticker. Put that sticker. put that sticker. And this person would be doing this job for 35 fucking years. Every
Putting
year
that
they get a
sticker.
raise putting a sticker. So by the time they're graduating to retirement, they're done getting paid $40 an hour for putting on a sticker.
And they have pensions. Do they have pensions?
They have pensions. They have all that. By literally putting on a sticker. So the whole idea is like, are you really contributing to the company by putting stickers for 4 years? Like,
Well,
how hard
the
is putting a
drivers-
sticker?
The drivers, they do a lot of work. They lift a lot of heavy boxes. It's a lot of stops. They work long fucking hours, dude.
All right, so by that token, somebody that goes to the military and puts their life on the line in Afghanistan should getting paid at least the same amount. So anytime somebody comes on, well, I work in the heat and lug all these boxes and do this. Well, these people put their life on the line in Kandahar, possibly being blown up. So, yeah, those people you know what I mean? Like, that means those guys need to be getting paid double the amount because they're putting in double
More work,
yeah, not necessarily more work. They're putting their lives in more danger than you are by being in a car. So I don't think that's a good excuse to give. Like, oh, we do a lot of work, boxes, this and that in the heat. It's a job. You got to do it. You know, that's why you're getting.
The fact of the matter is, I'm sorry, but there's just like, it's just a breakdown of, and I'm someone that, you see this place right here, it's all from cleaning toilets, or like,
Yeah.
right? But at the end of the day, like, jobs pay a certain amount due to the skill they require.
And then then you got the unions that jump in, and somebody can be sticking stickers on the side of the door for 30 years and get paid gradually more money by just putting on stickers.
At the end of the day, though, they do know what they're getting themselves into for the amount of money that they're getting themselves into that issue.
That's
Yes,
what I'm
I agree.
saying. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, for example, up front, when you go to like get hired somewhere, it's not like you work for a month or 2 months and then like you don't know what your paycheck is. No, you're like, you know how much you're getting paid.
Yeah. And to bring back the conversation to the AI in a
And
writer's strike.
There are supplementary stuff to that as well, like the GI Bill.
Yes, like the GI Bill is after you leave the army,
you
right?
leave the
But if
military.
somebody that puts in like 30, 40 years, they're retiring, or 25 or 24 years, whatever, they're 20 years or 24 years, they're retiring. Anyway, but the point was, I want to bring you back to the AI and writer's strike. Sorry, bro. AI is going to take over. I don't give a fuck how many strikes you do. If AI can write better than you, they're going to do it. And if they can't do it right now, guess what? In a half a year,
What
they're
do
going to be
you-
able to do that.
I saw this video. It's been going around. I've seen it a couple times now. What do you think of this? So basically, this video is going around. Maybe you can find it, Miggy. I'm not sure. But it's basically about this AI, right? They're advertising about awareness of AI, right? Like how people should be aware. The video starts off of this bunch of videos of this girl that's probably around, this little girl, child of these parents. Probably around 7 to 9, maybe 10 years old. Not I don't know. I really don't know.
I believe
Young
you're
girl.
referring to the one video where they took the girl's face and then they
Yes.
had her call her mom or something like
So
that.
basically, this video is showing awareness for AI and how people
can
should be
spoof the voice.
aware that not only should you not be putting your private information out there, maybe you should start being aware of just putting even your face out there. Is what they're trying to make you aware about, and putting your voice in videos, because this AI basically took this little girl that was like 7, 8 years old, took her, and with all the photos that it had, made her into like a 14-year-old girl. Still looked like her really, but at 14 or 15 or 16, I don't remember. It was still like a teenage girl, and basically was doing a bunch of stuff like, "Hey mom, hey dad," and like it was mad realistic, right? It looked like a person, and then doing the same thing like Miguel said. Making like a call, like a help call, like, "Mom and Dad, I'm kidnapped. There, you gotta pay this money, blah blah," and like trying to spread awareness of AI and like how you guys should be careful how much information you put out there and how that could start backfiring.
Well, that's not going to happen. You know that, right?
This is the thing, right? It's gonna become a part of scams.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
That's just it's gonna happen, and it's gonna affect old people. Sadly, the most, just like most scams do, right? Like, call about your car's extended
100%.
warranty or anything like that. What's up, Salim? How you doing, my brother? Appreciate you coming in here. It's gonna affect things like that, like you getting like most people that get scammed, right? Like, but I think that at the beginning it's gonna catch a lot more people, right? Because it's just a simple phone call to the person you know to check if that's real or not, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
While
If they're
while we
spoofing your
develop the
phone,
technology,
Right. Next thing you know, they're spoofing your phone. The moment you make that phone call, it goes to that AI, and now this AI is convincing the shit out of you.
well, remember, there's also going to be security to that. So as AI develops, so will security features that will hopefully prevent most of these, because they're
So-
not going to stop everything.
so
If you
I
see
think-
already Instagram and stuff will have like the tag, right, that says like altered, right, telling
they're
you
probably
that,
going to have some type of
Which it's-
recognition software.
which is weird because you see a lot of these videos, like clips, like I was making yesterday, that are AI altered, not really necessarily altering what they're saying, but it's like an AI that made the video look more animated or clean or whatever it is, and you can tell 100%. But then it's weird because you know, if I mean maybe you don't know, but it feels like it's normal clips, right? Like you've seen it normal, but they're just adding that AI filter on it, but then you don't get the altered video tag thing. You don't get that warning, and those videos are coming up.
So I have a suggestion.
It's new, so we'll see how fast they'll get on it. You know.
I have a suggestion. Y'all need to tell your parents, like, listen, we need to have a safe word. Like, if we're talking and some special is happening, and be like, yo, listen, pineapple. If I say pineapple, that means it's me. Shit's going down.
I can't
This
do
is
that.
being real.
I can't use that word because that's actually my sex, my sex
You're
word.
talking to your family member, fucker.
No, but I can't do
You
it.
can have a safe word with your sex partner and
what
your
if
family,
my girl's
bro.
around and I'm like, pineapple?
What do you mean your girls?
She gonna get naked.
You're she gonna get naked. No, I mean like you're standing around in a group in person. You don't need to say your fucking AI safe word. It's like you're on the phone with this person one on one.
Well, don't you think it's gonna come to a point where AIs are actually gonna become robots, and you're gonna be like, hey, pineapple?
What do you mean? Like
To
in
try and
life,
figure
like
out, to try
Elon
and
Musk
figure out
robots?
if AI is real or not. Like, for example, let's say some robot comes up to you and it's disguised and you think it's a human, and you want to have that safe word with
Yeah,
somebody.
but until that happens, I don't think none of us will be
Fuck.
really alive when that happens. You know what I mean?
You just fucked my brain, Mickey. So he's right though. We're gonna get to that point where it's not just AIs calling you and making videos looking like you. You're someone important enough. They want to fuck with you. They'll make a robot that looks like someone close to you. Shit.
Well, yeah, but if you already have this, so this is why it's the key to set it up right now, because we know we don't got those robots right now. So if you set up these safe words with your mom,
I would assume
with your
that-
grandpa, with your grandma, you know, you already know, like if it's pineapple, if it's a peach, whatever you want to call it. You know, roses are red, violets are blue. You know, whatever the line is, if you get it done right now, I don't think you should have an issue. I know this sounds funny, but like, or only something that this person would know. You know what I mean? Like things like that, because this is just gonna get worse and worse, because like the whole phishing scams and vishing scams and all of those, you know, because the text message scam, like people that want to scam you are like, the whole idea about them is they're going to get better and better at doing
I saw
this shit.
today that the guy was purposely has like maps open. He was like doing like a screen share with a scammer. Like the guy was trying to fuck with him, and he knew he was getting scammed. He was one of those guys that out scammers.
Yeah.
And basically, he had the screen up, and he goes, the scammer screaming at him, "What are you doing? Like, click here, click there." And the guy's pulling up a map, and on the map is where the scammer is at. And right away, the phone like goes silent the moment the guy's like, "You recognize that hospital there? Like, you see what I'm looking at on the map?" That's when he's like trying to out him. And the scammer goes silent, and then the guy plays a clip afterwards, because I guess like he hacked into his microphone, like kept it open, even though he kept he closed the call or whatever, he still was able to hear him. And the guy's like screaming with his boss, "Motherfucker, this and that," and going off and shit because he knew he was fucked.
Yeah,
There's
so
a lot of guys going against those scammers.
yeah, like you have to be able to hack.
You remember seeing that guy? He started doing the videos of the boxes, like
Call the cops and shit?
No, like the Amazon boxes getting stolen, and he would make this whole contraption. That
Yes,
had like
to blow up
glitter
and shit,
glitter bomb, and it would have like fart spray and a camera, and it would have the little. It would play the noise from Home Alone when the little kids messing with the two guys. It would play that shit. Like he did like a whole setup. He did like multiple videos of that, and he started getting into like uncovering scams like
Good.
that.
Good. Like I agree with that, because I get a fucking call from Michael, Hello,
From
this is
Michael.
Michael. That's the accent, literally.
Uh,
I'm not.
shit.
I'm not being racist. That's the accent. You know. Oh, I heard a joke.
That sounds like it's gonna
It's,
maybe
it's,
a
gonna,
racist
it's
one.
bad. It's bad.
You know what you
but
call
it's
a
bad.
I like to hear bad jokes.
you know what you call a fish with a bow tie? Sophisticated.
Sophisticated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a drink with that note.
Mine is a little darker than that. So, when you see a darker person of Middle Eastern descent, how do you know if they're Indian, or like
If they're
Arabic?
Indian, if they're Indian, they'll nod their head side to side.
Nah. You ask them if they're 7-Eleven or 9-11.
Ah.
I knew it. I knew it. I heard that one a couple days ago. That one's pretty bad.
I heard that one and I was like, yeah. That's
Do you know
bad.
what the
It's funny,
zero?
but it's bad.
Do you know what the 0 said to the 8? Nice belt.
What?
Bad one. I have to call you on that one. Bad one.
The 8 because you know it has a little belt in the center.
That's a kid joke.
All right, fuck y'all.
That's a child joke, dude.
Now, that was a funnier joke right there. But anyway, so the UFOs, I don't think that motherfuckers exist on planet Earth. I
got more shit on AI. You ready
Yeah.
for this? Did you ever hear of Karen AI?
No.
Karen AI
Is that the bitches part?
This is the bitches AI, yeah. I forgot about that. So, this girl Karen, her legit name is Karen, right? She basically had like a whole Snapchat following. She like got made money like talking to dudes and posting on Snapchat. She said she did something like 150 to 200 posts a day
Jesus
on
Christ.
Snapchat. Yeah. So basically, this girl, she came up with the idea. This is what she says, right? Like it's her idea to integrate this AI into her platform. That basically, this AI was created off of 2,000 hours of her YouTube footage, and this AI talks and acts just like her.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she has this AI integrated on Snapchat. I think is what it is.
Is that the one that goes?
I don't know.
No, you haven't heard that?
But basically, these guys will pay to talk to this AI of her. And the AI has an attitude, and the way they do it is they set up like a whole scenario, like they're going on a date and everything.
Bro,
And the girl will have attitude. The girl will dump you.
If they have an iPhone, they could do that for free.
She
Look,
argues.
Look, check this out. Hey Siri, you're a bitch.
I won't respond to that.
They're rude.
So this girl has this whole AI, and she basically is charging. Guess how much? Guess.
I don't know, $20
For how long?
a month.
Come on.
Shit. Guess how much, Mickey?
I'm gonna say 75 an hour.
75 an hour. You're over actually, Mickey. You're over. So it's $1 a minute.
Get the fuck out.
It's $1 a minute,
And people pay that?
and she made $47,000 in 1 week.
Fuck out of here.
You can see why I wanted to bring this up.
Bro, I am sorry. But y'all, I don't know who's watching this. And if you're a dude, you're a fucking simp if you do this shit. If you're a dude and you're paying for this shit and you gassing these bitches up, you're a fucking idiot. Like literally, you're an idiot. You need to get better. I don't know what do you have to do. There's a bunch of fucking self-help programs out there. Contact us. I'll talk to you.
I brought the top J out.
Bro, like you gotta be
Jason, I'll be
fucking
your
kidding me.
therapist.
Somebody paid $1 a minute to talk to an AI.
I mean, I'm sure there's guys that pay $1 a minute just to, have phone sex.
Yeah, but at least it's a real bitch.
That's true.
Yeah, very true. That's the most truthful part.
Just think about this for a minute. This motherfucker paid $1 a minute. So a whole hour is $60, right? Take your fucking $60, go to Reno, Nevada, where the shit's legal. Pay them $16, tell them, I got 15 minutes.
You give them a time.
And you're gonna smash for 15 minutes. I don't condone it, but it's better than paying some dumb bitch for an AI for nothing, bro. For an hour of talking to a robot. Y'all gotta be fucking out of your mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, but like that just irks me. That just gets
This
me wrong.
girl-
Like I don't understand this shit.
And then like, can you believe that this girl has the audacity to like, I don't want to say it, but like the way she talks, man, is like, she like how we talked about the other day. Girls that live on that kind of lifestyle still want to expect like a traditional man sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of talks in that
Like
manner
that.
where
I
point
deserve this. I deserve that.
not deserves, but these are my standards,
Ah.
and it's kind of like your standards don't match your lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah.
So I mean, that's her prerogative. It has nothing to do with her. She's smart for capitalizing on that.
Oh,
and
she's
kudos to her.
stupid fucking smart.
She's stupid
making 50 grand in a week, and you didn't do. I mean, you set it up, but the actual like, think about it. Then like, so maybe you say the first week you worked a lot, but then like the next week you make that 50 grand again. You didn't work shit. The AI is just there running.
She's literally the reason. If she, I don't know, she's talking about like, am I gonna
So
assume here that she
basically,
wants,
she
she
started-
doesn't, she's single?
No, so she's. I don't know if she's single. or
Because
not,
you
but-
say she deserves this, deserves that.
But
Not
no,
not
no, it's not
after
that she deserves it.
not
the
after
way
the
she, the manner of
information.
her speaking,
okay,
pointing
I
me
see what
in the
you're saying.
way. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. She didn't really say this. Maybe I'm wrong. The way she was a little bit made it seem like she was still looking for like a. She had those like traditionalist values like we were talking about the other day that don't, like I said, don't really match up with her
Yeah.
lifestyle, right? She's stupid smart for capitalizing on
Yeah,
this.
100%.
And the way that it started was really that she said that the way she wanted to do this, the reason she wanted to do this, was that she was having too many dudes that she had to reply to on Snapchat, and it was like basically too much to where she couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so she was trying to figure out a way to.
Way to do it, yeah. And the bunch of dudes are just what bugs me is like the bunch of dudes actually paying for this shit. That's what bugs me. Like they're creating these virtual lives and relationships with this woman in hopes that this woman is gonna choose them, but she's just making money. Like this is what I don't understand. Anyway, it is what it is. Some people are just fucking meant to never procreate, never, you know what I mean? And if that's what you want to be, then good for you. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Sorry for you. It is what it is. Anyway, but
I have a random ass question. If you had to go to the zoo, and they told you we're gonna put you in capture for a day, which one are you picking?
in capture,
Any animal in capture.
Flamingos.
which one I'm picking?
Flamingos.
And what's the last one you pick?
Lion.
Nah, bro, lion will fuck you up.
That's the last. He said that's his last.
Huh?
I said the first and the last in capture.
Oh, first and last. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. He said flamingos and lions. See, the flamingos, I would try to find something a little less shitty.
Don't
First one
fucking
I picked
matter.
probably
I'm
be
hanging out with the
antelopes.
flamingos.
Antelopes or any kind of one of those, like, you know.
With the horns?
Yeah, bro.
You fucking crazy. They get into that breeding season. They don't want you around, bro.
No, I'll be far away. By that time I figure out how to make a fucking spear.
You didn't know.
I'll make a spear, bro.
You didn't know what to do at first. Like, fuck.
Yeah, man. I mean, make
those
a spear
guys,
by then.
especially antelopes, like they're fucking.
They'll fuck
their
you up?
antlers are pointy. They'll fuck you up.
I don't fucking know.
I mean, the bird's way is a pretty like safe way, right?
with
like bird-
otters, I don't fucking know.
Otters.
You got
otters?
water. You got water. I like that.
Yeah.
I like. that
And
you
then the
got-
one I
that's
would
not
not
shitty
want to
water.
be is last one would be hippos.
Yeah, mad aggressive.
Yeah, hippos or like fucking alligators, lions, any of those apex.
Yeah, see, I think I'm taking like one of the reptile in like a chameleon or something like that.
Yeah. But you gotta be careful. Some
Penguin.
motherfucker things or penguins. Yeah, that's cool.
I do the pen because they're cool.
Yeah.
Because you got
like
water
the
and shit.
flamingos.
Because with chameleons, you gotta watch out. If they think it's a fly and then he just fucks you with his tongue right in the eye, you know, it goes plop. What are you gonna do about that?
I mean, but at the end of the day, it don't kill you, right? Like you just
Yeah.
gotta smack. This
It'd be
fucking
going like this
chameleon.
on that stick. We go like this. And next thing you know,
Finally, right?
he
You
just
just-
smack you with the fucking
You're
tongue.
just sleeping. It just goes at your eyelashes, or your eyebrow thing is a caterpillar.
Yeah.
And then the last one. Fuck. See, I came prepared with this question, but I didn't really think about it. I thought it was a cool question. I didn't really. last one, you're right. The apex predator, like a fucking
Any kind of
rhino.
fucking apex predator. Rhino, fucking elephants,
Oh yeah, that motherfucker stomp you out.
bisons, fucking tigers, any other motherfucker. Cheetahs, lions,
Which one of
fucking
the big? I
monkeys,
know there's
gorillas.
one
any
of
of
the
'em.
one of the big cats will eat you while you're still alive. Like they don't go. Like they don't. They just try to disable you and eat you. They don't really care for the throat. Like a lot. Like I think tigers and lions will go for your throat. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to fucking kill you to disable you. But like I think there's another big cat that wants to disable you but doesn't like necessarily go for your throat. Like it's just gonna fuck you up so you can't move anymore. That's the one I don't want. Because at least the throat is relatively quick.
Oh,
You know? They're going for your face and shit.
Look, so the whole thing about animals, like we have conquered the planet, but the reason we're able to conquer the planet is because there's a lot more of us in numbers, and number two, we're fucking disposable thumbs, and we're smarter than them, right? Like we can literally like trap them.
It's crazy though how this right here is what gives us such an advantage, because it's not that I have to grab something and like try and I have two things that I can manipulate.
Well, the whole thing was we're
press
able to
together
lift our
and-
arm above our head.
Really?
The minute we're able to lift our arm above our head,
Okay.
that's when the whole fucking thing started. Because think
Oh.
about it, like
Throwing shit.
the throwing shit,
Projectiles.
yeah, the projectiles.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
made it, because what elephant can projectile unless the projectile throwing poop or water?
Or orcas will fucking. You seen that?
Yeah, with their tail will
I
fuck-
love this video, bro. I saw this orca that went to go do it to like a stingray, and it had the like sound from Dragon Ball Z, like when when something crazy happens, and that shit made me fucking die. But they send them like 30 feet in the air, bro.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
like they
Smack
literally
the
are
shit out of it.
volleyballing these fucking fish.
Yeah, they're fucked. Yeah. So that's another fucking animal I would not want to be in a tank, like sharks or them bitches.
Fuck. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Anything that you have to only be in water, like penguins actually live on the land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they go in water to eat and hunt and stuff, but like they live on the land. So like, but like if you had to be in like a shark or an orca, a killer whale enclosure, fuck that. Even a dolphin enclosure, I don't know.
And then none of us literally on our own would fucking survive any
No.
of the animals. We wouldn't even survive in a fucking botanical, like...
There
what's
could be
it-
no animals.
Just fucking plants. The plants will fuck us up, you know what I mean? Like, there would be just some, like...
No sleep because you're itchy.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
there's
Like,
lights and
what was a poison ivy that'll fuck you up? You get allergic reaction. Now you don't have
shit.
the EpiPen. Now your balls the size of, I don't know, balloons, and you die, and you know what I mean? Like... Yeah, so the nature
Literally,
will fuck
you
us up.
couldn't- you
None of
couldn't
us
put-
know how to do this
You couldn't
anymore.
put none of us in a botanical garden.
Nah,
To
bro.
survive.
Yeah, next thing you know, it's like, oh, look at that, beautiful butterflies. Next thing you know,
Shit.
my throat is closing because this plant touched my hand. You know what I mean? So, anyway, but I don't know. Animals, man. I like to look at them from the far.
I don't. I think the ideology of a zoo is just so fucked. Like, okay, think about it this way. I get that the fact that I need to, not that I need, right? But I eat meat. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan.
Yeah.
Right? And that's part of my living. Right?
Yeah.
But the fact that for our pure entertainment, we have these guys. Like, for example, I always tell the net, it's a fucking crime that we have these birds.
Yeah.
It is a fucking crime. I don't care what anybody says. We should not have these birds. It's a crime. You do you, boo, like you say, but it's a crime. I believe so, because that bird is supposed to fly thousands of miles in its life, and you have it cooped up in a 3x maybe 4 space. You know what I mean? BJ's got a little better cage than,
Well, see,
than Angel, but like it, and then it just goes for every animal, right? Like the amount of space they're supposed to roam. I don't think I don't know.
Well, see,
think it's
even
fucked.
if you look
The
at
whole
the
ideology is
dogs,
fucked.
like the dogs were like wolves back in the day, and they roamed the fucking forest and did their thing, and then just ate guts of the animals, right? But then some dogs were like, it was, beneficial, mutually beneficial for them to like align themselves with humans because they got food.
I
and
protect you, you feed
yeah,
me.
exactly. So I think it's just
I can literally sit around most of the day. Nothing happens. I maybe herd for an hour a day. Maybe run off a wolf or two or whatever I need to
So,
run off.
talking
And then
about
I
that-
eat. But then like, you just go ahead.
Go. Finish
No.
up. Anyway, so in a fish world, I forget what species of the fish is. So the smaller males will pretend to be female to get in the territory of the larger males to smash the
How do-
females in that territory.
Oh shit!
And I guess what they're
Not to
called,
survive, just to fuck.
and they're called the sneaky fuckers. That's the
Really?
sneaky fucker theory, and it starts with fucking fish. I heard that shit
Sneaky
today.
fucker.
Sneaky fucker.
Okay.
So they pretend to be female to get in the territory of a larger male to smash.
Let's talk about human sneaky fuckers. What would your reaction? God forbid, some close friend of yours, you found out they were messing with your girl. What's your thought process on that?
Close friend of messing with my girl.
God forbid.
Well, first of all,
we
they're
don't
not
believe- I don't
they're not
believe
gonna
that,
be a friend of mine, and number
Right.
two, she's single now.
Right? That's for sure.
Yeah,
But like, would you have any kind of reaction towards a dude
but I would thank him actually.
for vetting out this
Yes,
fucking?
I would thank that person and say you're a fucking dickhead, but thank you anyway. You know what I mean? Thank you, cause
Fuck you, but at
Right?
least you figured out.
yeah,
my
thank you
problem
because you
before.
pointed out that I was lacking in somewhere, which means now it's like the best thing that could happen to you is girl doing that to you because now you're gonna sit back and like, where the fuck did I fuck up and how do I improve?
But there's a lot of girls we see out there that like, for example, I ran across this. Well, not me. I was watching. Me and Emily were watching like reels right on her phone, just sitting in bed, and we came across this video, and it was a lot of girls. Basically, like the video was exaggerating how girls like to like gloat about cheating. Like they were like on those street interviews, and the guy would ask them like, "Oh, like you ever cheat on your man?" And they would be like, "Yeah, of course." Like I did it a bunch of times. Like it was a bunch of those, right? Like multiple, like over 6, 7, 8 girls,
Yeah.
like having that same persona and talking about it in the same manner. And I feel like there's just those people out there, not necessarily girls, because there's men like that are just always discarding any kind of morals when it comes to fucking.
No,
They can get that pussy. Fuck it, I don't care if I'm leaving my kid at school.
I think
They
it's
can
just
get that pussy. Fuck it, my girl's. I'm gonna show up late to my date with my girl. They can get that pussy. Oh, my mom's gonna miss that appointment. There's people like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And same thing with I'm gonna get that dick. You know what I mean for girls.
I don't think it's for girls.
Bro, there is.
I think there's a very small percentage.
There's a small percentage on both sides. Maybe there's more men that do this because
Yes,
of the.
I
the
would say there's
intentions of
more men. Yeah.
Probably more men, but I think there's people in general that are like this.
Yeah, for sure. But I think with women is a little bit different because the best way somebody described this is like
Dick
it's like,
attention. What do you mean?
it's like a sticker, when as the girl like the oxytocin production, the more partners a girl has, then they've done the studies. Not my opinion.
It's kind of
again.
like I know what you're talking about how it kind of desensitizes.
Yeah, and then
you
so
know what I mean.
so being in pair bonding, like kind of like it just becomes
Over
like a
time,
sticker.
it
If you keep putting the same sticker to the wall, it's eventually gonna lose its stickiness.
yes.
So that's what happens with women. It happens much faster than it would happen with a guy. Happens with the guys as well, but it takes a lot longer for that, and it's just the way
Okay.
we're built, right?
Got you.
So
It's because of the attachment we have to certain parts of our relationship.
yeah, so
Some guys are more. Men on average are more exaggerated on certain parts of the relationship being important, and women on average are more exaggerated of another part. You know what I mean?
So here's the thing: if every dude on a planet Earth, a majority of the dudes on planet Earth, could exercise their actual biological prerogative, which means to smash as many beautiful women as they possibly could on demand, no guy would ever be in a relationship. No guy would ever be in a relationship. Relationships would not exist. If you could snap a finger, there's a beautiful girl next to you, it would not fucking matter. Relationships would not exist. The reason relationships exist is because guys can't do that. So they secure one girl and they just stay with her. But in reality, they want that. But for the girls, it's the opposite. For them, is if they could snap a finger and get the best possible guy that can provide and give them safety and provision and be a leader, that's what they would want.
But guess what? They don't like that, dude.
Who doesn't like that?
They don't. No girl likes that dude. They're too nice. They're too put together. They're too.
No,
friendly.
they want those.
You know what I mean? Like those are the guys. Like the guys that are like that and can give you that like steady long term relationship and what you're looking for. This guy that's going to school and getting himself together. They don't like that guy.
No, because yes, I see what you're going. Now, they all want that guy, but they also want that guy to be interesting and be a James Bond and be spontaneous and this and that. That doesn't exist, right?
Very small percentage of the world.
Yeah, that doesn't fucking exist.
On a realistic standpoint, you're right.
Yeah,
It doesn't
and,
exist.
and so the point blank,
I don't know.
I think social media.
Me and Jay, when we get famous on this podcast, we'll still be like that. It's okay. We're that small percentage. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah,
Jay?
yeah.
And Miggy.
So I think what happened, social media has opened the doors.
Can't wait to see Miggy while his bitches in the casino.
Bro, I can't wait for that day, bro. When I
Oh
walk
my
in, like,
God.
can you imagine? There's this big house.
I'm gonna be happy.
You're walking
I'm
in-
gonna be happy with me and Emily, her walking around with her red bottoms and whatever. But when I see Miggy in that casino playing his baccarat and like 30 bitches around him,
I don't even know how to play baccarat, but
I'll feel.
I'll
That's
learn,
what
I'll
my.
learn.
That's what. Yeah, that's rich man shit.
And he's
Yeah,
he's at
that-
the level where they're giving him money. He's
Yeah,
not even
that-
spending his own money.
That's when I'm happy.
You start,
Yeah, like, goddamn,
That's
Mickey
when I'll
David.
be happy.
you start playing golf and shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think like being in a relationship, it's a very fine line. You have to really choose, right? And here's where it comes to it. I think every man's prerogative is to sleep with as many beautiful women as they possibly can. But then it's like, you know what? At one point, like, I can have this, like, let's say I reached to certain levels and I'm able to do that. It is what it is. But then you choose one. Why? Because it takes too much fucking time out of my
It's-
day to...
At the end of the day, let's not look at it as a feeling standpoint. Look at it as like what's more progressive, like what's more proactive. You're
Yes.
right. It is. It's easier on your mindset and your mentality on how you go about things. Just knowing that you have someone there to take care of these parts of your life versus you fucking worrying about it yourself or just having to pay someone or look for someone to do it constantly.
Yeah, well, not only that, like, you have somebody, it's easier just to have one person because girls, let's just be honest, girls are a headache and they're honestly a lot of work. They are a lot of work. Like, you have to do a lot of shit around. So one is already enough work. Can you imagine having other ones? Like, that's a, like, full-time job. Like, and I have a, like, let's say, and I'm concentrating on something else.
But what do
I
you-
don't have
so
time
what
to
do you-
worry about other bitches.
This is what I would like to ask. Where do you look at parts of relationship that you say that girls are a lot of work? What would you say that makes girls a lot of work?
So
Keeping them entertained.
yeah, so here's the deal. At all times,
That is actually a thing. You have to make sure that they are not make sure, but it is a part of it that, you know, if things become too flat for too long, it gives them too much space to be
yes,
rocking the mind on bad things.
because their mind always, like, they're addicted to drama. They're like the reason 50 Shades of Grey is #1 selling book because they love that kind of shit. They love
There's
those
a
ups
reason
and
why
downs.
girls cheat as well. If they're bored with a relationship, they're going to cheat.
Well,
If you're not doing nothing. You're not going out. You're not, good in bed. You're fucked.
It's the lifestyle, right? Like, back in the day, you had, like, when they coupled up back in the day, there was literally survival. You no longer have that. So the survival aspect is not there. So what do you have to provide is the lifestyle, right? So the ups and downs, the drama, the this, the that, you have to do it when everything is fine and she's flying private and drinking champagne from here to Malaysia, and over there she's got the best hotel, and you do this 2-3 times a year. After a while, it becomes like,
And the moment you don't put a coaster under her cup, you don't love her
yeah.
anymore.
So that's why that's why this is a very small. Like, it's a very very. I think it's a balance. So I think this is an unpopular idea. This sounds super bad. This sounds really really manipulative. But in my opinion, I think in your relationship, you have to show her that other girls still like you throughout the relationship. Whether it's in a restaurant, having the waitress flirt with you, or somebody like show interest in you. It gonna prove to her that she's still a winner. Like, I fucking hate to put it this way, but unless they know that they're with the winner, like, they don't want to be with you. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
That depends on the girl because
It
maybe
doesn't.
maybe there's a girl that likes a guy that does this stuff, and that's their winner.
There you go.
That's what.
That's a good way to put it, Miggy.
Does
That
what
does
stuff?
the stuff that they enjoy. It doesn't necessarily have to be a winner on the spectrum of the world, but to them, that's their winner. They understand that.
Yeah, but so, like, you're talking about this whole pure thing of, like, she appreciates you for who you are. I don't think that exists.
Well, we're talking about humans here. There's got to be some level of appreciation for another human being.
No, I get that, but I don't think that exists, because the reason I say I don't think that exists because there's a lot of nice guys right now that are super intelligent, and they will do absolutely everything in their power to provide and
And make
give
them
security
happy.
and make them happy, but they don't like them. The nice guy thing doesn't work.
I think the nice guy thing,
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work in the beginning of relationships now. But
Or in
long
the middle.
term, that is what works.
So yes, so there, I see what you're saying. Okay, so there's this thing, right?
I guess because you have to think
When
about
it's
it. Anytime
time-
you hear me talking about relationships, I'm thinking of my freaking 7-year relationship, bro.
Yeah,
Think
yeah.
of it that way, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing: why do girls
How
like?
a real productive relationship should continue to go, right?
Yeah, so why do girls put these type
I
of
think.
like? You got to look at it this way. Like a lot of times, girls will say, "Well, they'll smash the bartender, the promoter, they'll smash the hot guy like in a pool in a foam party in Cancun." But then when they get a night, like the guy that actually like is nice, they're like, "Oh no, we're not gonna do it."
I
Like
get what you're saying.
they think that this is a special because you're special.
Look at it this way. You want to fuck bitches, then you go and you party, right? And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do these
it's just
things, right?
your lifestyle. That's what it is.
The sad fact about this is that you want to go find yourself a wife. You go and party. You're looking at a lot of girls that aren't even looking for that, right? Like, and then they are probably not up to the standards that you're looking for what you want as a wife either, right?
Yeah. So this is where that bad boy thing comes in, where once in a while you have to prove to her that you're still liked by other women. Like you don't need to go sleep with them. You don't need to like initiate that. You just need to. It's that whole sneaky way around it. Like it's manipulative, and I fucking hate that this is how it is. But I think a lot of times you have to like, for her to be a little bit jealous. Like,
But I
this
think there's a
bitch
lot
looked
of-
at him. This bitch did this to him. So she like, that jealousy is gonna like keep her in check.
I think that there's a lot of other things that could be surrounded around that. Maybe in the very beginning of a relationship, I could see how that what could happen on someone that's very like active on social media and someone that is very like friendly
at
with
Scottie
a lot of
Pippen.
groups and goes partying constantly and stuff. Yeah, Scott. I mean, we're talking about celebrities here, bro. It's like the extreme.
No, like yeah, but that's the one that everybody knows about, right? Like Scottie Pippen, beautiful wife, dumps his ass, dating Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah, but who the fuck knows what happened there, man? Who knows? And who knows who dumped who? You know who dumped who? You actually know?
No,
Exactly.
no, but
There you go, bro.
yeah,
You
I
can't
guess
speculate.
you're right. You're right. I guess you're right.
We're one.
Anyway, I think girls are attracted to chaos, and you have to provide them chaos once in a while.
Yeah.
Like you
Oh, yeah,
have
for
to
sure.
fulfill that. Like you have to, like they truly like earn for chaos. Like you have to give them a little bit of that chaos, and then just balances them back up, and then once in a while you give them chaos again.
I can see what you mean by chaos. Not necessarily that chaos have to be in the form of jealousy of other women.
Oh no. Chaos
But I do
meaning
believe-
like the ups and downs. This emotional
I
ups and
do
downs.
believe that there's a. It's weird, man. You're right, though. You're right. There's a thing about how when chaos happens and you can come out of that there's an attraction to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because it's like they're looking at it like, oh, I'm still making the right decision. Like no matter what happens, even though we live in a fucking first world society, nothing's gonna happen. Zombies are not gonna attack. We're not gonna have a
Yeah.
World War III. Like their lizard brain is telling them constantly check your man, make sure that he can fucking be the guy that's gonna help you survive, and your progeny to survive. So look, once in a while you gotta give him a little bit of chaos and then come out of it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and then what I was trying to say, like, if every guy could, you would smash a bunch of women and not fucking care about it. But a lot of guys elect one because girls are a lot of work. So imagine not having one, having two, having three, having four, having 10 of them. That's a headache. I gotta work. I gotta make money. Like I'm not gonna do
I
that.
think I had one more thing I wanted to bring
Yeah.
up. Let me see real quick. I think I had saved something that I wanted to talk about. I think it might have been the AI girl. I think that's what it was because I just didn't write it down. I know I had something that I wanted to talk about that I didn't write down in my notes. I saved the reel is what I know.
Yeah,
I
the
did.
AI. I think like
Not the Karen AI, but the girl, the awareness one.
I
Yeah, I
tried
think-
looking it up. It's very difficult to find.
It's weird 'cause I seen it in the past few days.
Yeah, it was rolling around Instagram somewhere.
Yeah, right.
so. The AI girl. I think AI is gonna replace the customer service. So you're no longer gonna be hitting up.
Google was showing that the other day. What's it? This?
Yeah, the customer service is gonna be replaced, and then Google did that whole assistant thing, right? Like when the assistant calls and
Not
makes a
Google,
hair
Apple.
appointment.
Apple was showing off one the other day. Their new AI that's fucking insanely good.
Yeah.
Or was it? Maybe it was Google.
Google created one where it called the hair appointment and spoke for him like, hey, this is my name. Can we do it on this day? No, I don't have that. I have this. Okay, great. Let me look up. Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Let me see.
But the point with the AI was like, a lot of these writers or people going to be replaced by AI, and they can go on a strike if they want. Nothing's going to change.
What's
It is what it is.
Let's see if this joke will go. What's the heaviest thing you ever picked up?
Heaviest thing I've ever
Like
picked
heaviest
up.
amount, like probably like maybe 200 something pounds or something like that.
I don't know. Aussie? Like, what is he weighing?
No, I'm saying like probably pick something up more. Like the amount. Like what's the heaviest amount you think you've picked up?
Like 250.
250.
Aussie. Like, whatever Aussie is.
So 250, Miggy.
Yeah.
And what was her name?
Oh, fucking it.
I got it.
What was her name, Miggy?
I think I've done like close to 200. I've done it. I think.
Ready? Okay, let me see.
I'm guessing that's what she was, but she was a
I'll
bigger
show you
girl.
after the pod. It's gonna take me a second to find it.
She was a bigger girl.
What's the heaviest you picked up?
Me? I don't know. What? By going by my standard, 156.
Trick question.
156, yeah.
So yeah, no.
130 something, I think now.
Yeah, I think this girl was like close to she was probably close to 200, but it was like 180, maybe one.
Was she at least on the taller side?
Oh, she was tall. She was
she
like,
wasn't a short
she
girl?
was a little bit taller than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know,
We
the
did
first,
Did you wear your boost shoes that day?
No.
your extra shoes? No.
No.
You, sandals.
I didn't care.
The first girl I dated was probably like 8 inches taller than me, bro. I was still 6th grade, hadn't hit my growth spurt yet, and this girl was probably like 5'8" already.
How did that work? What did you do? Get up on a chair?
Got my first kiss when she had to put her head down.
She told me that. She told me like, what? How are we gonna kiss? I'm taller than you. I was like, don't worry about it. In bed we'll be the same height.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out.
He's like,
yeah,
dick. I was like, don't worry about
I
it.
couldn't imagine seeing Jay with a girl that's tall around him, like taller.
But she
than
wasn't
him
much
around.
taller. She was like a couple of
Yeah,
inches
no,
taller.
but like, I could imagine me trying to sneak a picture every time I see her like give him a kiss, and him having a like little tippy toe or a little body
Nah,
extension.
I wouldn't be doing that. I'm doing that. I'm like, sit down on the chair.
Babe, give me a kiss. Sit down first.
No, see, I don't
shit.
think like, am I saying like there's a possibility I would date somebody that's taller than me? Yes, but the chances of that are very small. The reason being is like I naturally know like it, like their lizard brain is gonna tell them I want to be protected. Unless it's bigger than me, I'm not protected.
Hey, bring him on Sunday and see Cinder Block Jay in action. You'll be protected.
Yeah. So, but it's all about the visual for it's all about the visual for them rather.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like
Or
the,
initial presentation.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. Like, oh, I want 6 foot. Why do you want 6 foot? Like, we got.
Jay's
Glocks
all about
nowadays.
that BJJ lifestyle. He brings them down to his level,
There
takes
you
them
go.
down.
Chop them down like trees.
Fucking Imanari roll their ass.
Nah, I don't do that. I'm not that fucking flexible.
I watched Imanari the other day. He was doing like a seminar and he was breaking down his role, right? And like he breaks it down and he makes it. He
Looks
breaks
so
down
damn
every
easy.
spot of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's so. And then you look at him like, okay, that single move would probably be easy to pull off. And then that single move, and then he does the whole thing. You're like, ha, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm doing that, okay.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, what was that guy's name that pulled a Monaro roll a couple of times and they all knew that he's going to do that and just fucking ended up kicking him in the face? He was in UFC.
Tony Ferguson was one of those guys that really utilized the Imanari role a lot. That's the only one that I know
he's
in
a
the
white,
UFC.
a white boy.
That's the only one in the UFC that I know of. That
He got a couple of fights. He did, like, Imanari rolled
and
twice.
then one of the great
won, and then they just fucking destroyed
one
him.
of the Gracie guys that's still fighting in the UFC the other day that he got beat up badly because
Kron?
he got beat up pretty bad
He
because
was scooting on his ass.
he
Kron?
tried pulling off a really lazy Imanari roll during
Yeah.
that fight.
It was like, oh, he's trying to appease the jiu-jitsu. the jiu-jitsu community. That's what he said. I was
It's
like,
MMA,
bruh.
bro.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu community turned around and said, "You're a fucking idiot."
Yeah,
Like,
you're you're in the octagon, bro. You're not on
Yeah.
a fucking
Yeah.
BJJ match.
and they told him, like, listen, there's no coming back from it. This is the only thing you can use. You know, like, I try to appease the jiu-jitsu community. Go with that. It is what it is.
Next fight, you better fucking bang.
Well, I don't think he'll be fighting
Who
again.
knows? I saw they put fuck, what's his name? Michael Venom Page back on the roster, or not back on the roster, but I don't know if whether it was, but he was a pretty famous fighter.
I don't know. These fights, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't think UFOs exist, guys. Topic of the conversation. I don't think UFOs exist.
I think he's capping. I think they exist. I think they definitely exist. No. This is my thing. I'm with
No, I don't think. Sorry,
Jay's
sorry.
definitely gonna
They-
go vacation with the aliens.
No, they exist. They exist, but not here.
So I'm with Neil deGrasse Tyson. It would be astronomically selfish and dumb of us to think that we are the only life forms in this
Yes.
vast universe.
I agree. So I want to make a correction. I don't think they exist on planet Earth.
You don't think anything from somewhere else has ever been to planet Earth? That would be like your
I think some fucking sulfur bacteria that landed on
no.
an asteroid.
Any
been
life
here.
forms have never space traveled to Earth. That's
Nah,
what you're
I don't
saying?
think so.
So how the pyramid of Giza happened?
Listen, there's a bunch of theories how that happened.
Okay. What is the one you think is there? Because you have to think that one of those theories is true, and then that's thinking that theory is true. That's the one you're picking. Because the fucking pyramids are sure as hell real.
I know this. You know, if you look at evolution, you have the monkeys, and someone from monkeys, their humans came around, right? Like, that's the evolution.
Don't try and tell me gorillas carried them.
Wait a minute.
out.
Wait a minute. But what they don't know is who's been in between, right? Like, they found to Australopithecus, and between the
What you say to
Australopithecus...
me? Or you call me?
yeah. But I think that's how it's pronounced. Between Australopithecus and the there's still, like, a gap. We don't know
Okay.
what it is, right? Even though, like, we're researching, we don't know what the fucking gap is, right? Like, they're saying that there's more, but we just don't know what it is.
Okay.
So I think this pyramids is one of those things. Like, we know it happened, but we don't really know what it is because there's a gap in there somewhere.
Okay.
But I don't think it's aliens.
You don't think it's aliens?
Nah.
But think of this. Even if you look at history and you want to say there's a gap somewhere, there's some gap. Where do you, like, even in that, if you try to fill in, before that gap happened and after that gap happened, they still didn't have the technology that you would have to assume they had to create this shit.
Well, I don't know, motherfucker. Man, people bamboo going like this, making holes in that stone. I don't know.
Bro, no way. There's no way. When it comes to jewelry and then, like, things like the pyramids and, like, stones, you know what I mean by jewelry?
Yeah.
Stones, like, these things being
carving
cut out. And, yeah, like, bro, there's no fucking way.
I don't know. It's hard to say, but I really don't think, like, aliens
No
made
way.
it here.
No way.
Because you gotta think about it this way. Physics, unless they're breaking the laws of physics, unless they're literally breaking the laws of physics, unless they come out and say wormholes exist and we can
What if-
travel through wormholes.
That's what they were trying to say. Basically, is that something in, I think it had to do with
Well, that's the only way they can justify it because they
it
understand
had
they
to
can.
do with fuck, who was it? The guy that Joe Rogan's been talking about a bunch about that worked for Area 51 and shit. When he went in there, he recognized all stuff. The staff recognized him. People know who he, like. Fuck, what's that motherfucker's name?
You look, there's
The
also
alien dude.
yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know, but what I'm trying to say.
Bob Lazar. No, is it Bob Lazar?
I fucking know.
Is it Bob? Is it Lazar?
That's whatever.
Is it Buzz Aldrin?
No, motherfucker. Do you think we've been to the moon?
Buzz Lightyear?
Do you think we've been to the moon?
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
that
we've
one.
been to the
I've
moon.
heard that. I heard that question today. What do you think, Miggy? We've actually been to the moon. You think that?
Yeah,
was
I think we've been to the moon.
I think we have.
I think we've been to the moon. I think we stepped on the moon, and I think we'll go to Mars. But what I'm trying to say is, overall scheme of things, it's just not worth it.
You know what I saw today? Actually, there was a clip of how it was making fun of flat earthers on how they did an experiment on basically that was supposed to prove that it's an experiment they have to prove that the Earth is round.
Did they crash and burn?
And basically they tried to make a video on how this experiment is bullshit, and they crash and burn. They prove themselves that the Earth is round.
They're
right?
fucking wrong.
Basically, they set up these two panels. Right, think of two panels that are I don't know however a certain distance apart, and these panels both have small holes in them, and they project the light through these holes. Right. And if the Earth is flat,
it would
the further you go away, you still would have to stay the same distance from the Earth as it is over there, right? So like when they set up the experiment, right, they said it was like 17 feet, right? Like 17 feet from the top was the same like distance. And as the guy started getting further away, the light started dropping. Yeah. And then eventually the guy's like, "Hey, put the light over your head." Boom, put the light over your head. And now they see it. And it's like, and the guy on the cameras, the guy that's like the main dude hosting this like video, the flat earther, is literally just like staring and like,
what happened there?
They didn't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah, they can't.
And I think he said like, "That's interesting." That's the only thing he could spit out.
He's thinking how it could be wrong. How could it be wrong? Because they're so sure that the Earth is flat. How, like, where did I fuck up in my calculation? Nah, bro, the Earth is fucking round.
Wasn't it like Kyrie Irving or Dwayne Wade, one of those guys that was on that? Yeah. Right, the Earth is flat.
Yeah, both. I think both.
Dwayne Wade. I think it was.
I think it was him, and also what's his name? The guy. He's the best 3-pointer right now. Steph Curry. He's a
flat earther.
Yeah, and his
no
wife,
way.
And his wife is a hoe.
A hoe.
Yeah, she is.
Shit. How's she a hoe? Who's she fuck?
I think she's just out there in the spotlight. Dude,
Jay said she called me that.
Oh, she's wearing that scandalous clothing.
No, not only that. I think it's just
and showing herself
the limelight
on
and
social
attention.
medias.
Yeah. No. She uses him and as a stepping stone. I can bet you in the next 5 to 10 years they're gonna get a divorce. Not
Steph
more.
Curry and his wife.
100%. She's gonna dump him, and then she's gonna come out and say, "Well, he's not just the man that I thought he would be. He wasn't masculine enough for me."
It wasn't Oh.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
You think that's gonna happen?
Yep.
You think she'll actually say that on him about him?
And not directly, indirectly, she'll allude to that.
She'll allude to that.
Yeah.
We'll see if Jay's right. We'll see if Jay's right.
I'm predicting this.
In 5 years,
if I was taking bets, I would bet $100 right
episode now. In 5 years, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is that he believes in flat Earth. Him and
stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, 25% of the millennials or something like that believe in flat Earth.
Like it's one of those
which
things.
Is crazy, bro.
It's one of those things. It's like, I'm sorry, but when you come up to me and you're like, "Oh, I'm a flat earther," and I'm like, "Okay, you're stupid." Like I don't believe. And they ask me, "Oh, you believe the Earth is flat?" No, I believe the Earth is round. Oh, why do you believe that, bro? You want me to fucking sit here and explain to you, like, the multiple things that I can go and look on Google right now and tell you why the Earth is fucking round and logical fucking things and give it to you in a straight up standpoint, not just like my dumbass brain like putting it together. No, like I'll put it to you, but like, you really need that? You really fucking need that?
Apparently Zerka is one of the fucking craziest flat Earth.
Not that I actually like him because it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
I like how I can tell that he's doing it. Yeah, he's just doing it to fucking rile people up. Yeah. Like, you can tell he's like, he just wants to fucking spark fire and throw gas on it. Gas.
Yeah.
That's what I think is entertaining.
He's huge flat Earth, and apparently they're saying that he's the best debater for flat Earth. And he debated Michael Sartain. Michael Sartain destroyed him, obviously. But Zerka still was like, "Oh, I won." They're like, "Bruh, didn't. You did not."
I saw one today of some girl calling him an incel or something like that, and then it was like
Zerka.
So it was Zerka, Sneeko. You know that little kid we were talking about the other day?
Yeah, Sneeko. I know what Sneeko is.
No, but not Sneeko. But the I'm talking about the third person. It's that little kid that's like 13, 12 years old. The boy.
Yeah.
Talked hella shit, and he was with this girl that does like OnlyFans and stuff like that. One of those girls that we're talking about, OnlyFans, but wants traditional men kind of thing. And she was basically like, the Zerko was like, "You calling me an incel?" And then the little kid went off on the girl and like basically like on their point of view roasted her, but bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the kid that was like, "Do you even know what an incel is? Do you even know? Do you even read books?
Yeah.
How many books can you name? Game of Thrones. That's not a book."
Yeah, he was like, that's not the title of the book. What's the title of the book? What's the title of the book?
No, that kid became.
I think I'm sorry. Yo, you're too young. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
I don't think he's 13. I think it's like 15, 16. Maybe
Still, you're too young.
18.
Shut the fuck up. Even me, bro, when it comes to certain things at 22 years old, I stay quiet because I'm like, I don't know enough. And I know that. So I stay I do that. I tell myself, shut the fuck up. You're going to speak out of pocket. You're going to say something you don't know you're talking about.
Well, he did some dumb shit. Like
He's
he was
done a
on
bunch of
live
dumb
with,
shit.
Yeah, on Sneeko actually, live. And he's been doing the dumb, like walking up to people saying some dumb shit.
Yeah, he be doing dumb shit. That's what I mean. Like, you're too young. Shut the fuck up. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go make kid videos. But don't try and tell adults how to live their lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At 15 years old.
So this whole OnlyFans thing,
Yeah,
I don't agree with
started
it.
beef with this kid.
Yeah, it is what it. But yeah, Zerka is apparently pretty big on flat Earth. Like 25% of millennials believe in flat Earth, which is here's a statistic for you. Who do you think we have more? Male teachers or male psychologists?
Male teachers or male teachers?
Not psychologists. Hold on. Male teachers or males that graduate with a psychology degree?
What?
What do we have more of, male teachers or males that graduate with a psychology degree?
Or males that graduate
with
a
psychology
degree. We have more males that graduate with a psychology degree.
Nope, we have more male teachers.
Really?
Yes. I think like only 4 or 5% of total people that graduate with a psychology degree are male.
Okay.
What is that going to do to the industry?
Fill it with females, right?
Yeah. And what do you think is going to happen to the narrative of mainstream psychology?
I'm going to sip my tea.
So anyway, so there's that, scientific so yeah, so we got some good times ahead of us. I think we're at the forefront of
I see where you're going with this.
We're at the forefront of like a lot of things unfolding, and within the next 5 to 10 years some shit's gonna go down and it's gonna be big. Like I think it's gonna be big, and the society's gonna shift, and it's gonna shift like radically. That's what I think.
Ooh, go deeper into this. How do you think the society, like, which direction do you think the society is going to shift radically? Because and what I would assume, maybe I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong. In your views, the society is already in the motions of shifting radically towards a progressive liberal side.
So let me go with this.
Is this what you would say? But at the same time, you could say that if you ask progressives and liberals, they're going to tell you that society is still struggling to reform on their strict, extreme, conservative, traditional values. Which is, and if you listen to both sides, they'll tell you shit that's correct. You know what I mean? It is like that.
Yeah.
It is
so
like that.
Here's the deal. So
extreme is extreme now.
We've talked about this.
Talk about extremist.
Yeah. We talked about this idea before, and I'm not bringing it to rehash it, what's correct or what's not correct. The point is that in 1990s, they coined the idea toxic masculinity because they started investigating prisoners.
Right.
And that's how
the phrase was coined, right?
And the mainstream psychology picked that up and they started coining everyone as toxic masculinity, right? And a lot of times you hear now saying, oh, he's toxically masculine, right?
Well, the problem is because you have to look at psychology as something that's still a developing field.
Past that. I'm not even talking about that. Like, that's just a pretext, right? Like, I'm not even talking about that.
Go ahead.
What I'm talking about is when there's a burning fucking building, you don't give a fuck how toxically masculine this man is or that's going to drag you out of the fire, right? What I'm trying to say is there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's masculinity and femininity, and then there's toxic people that can be masculine or could be feminine. So there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. They're just toxic people.
The problem is that you're trying to... I get what you're saying, and you're 100% correct in that people are masculine, people are feminine,
yes.
And then there's people that are masculine
toxic.
And feminine, and then they're toxic. Right? But they're just putting those two things together and trying to describe this person. They're toxic, and they're using their masculine traits to be toxic. That's all it is, bro. And then what I'm saying is, and listen, I get where
Well,
you're
no,
coming
no,
from.
no, no, what
because
I'm
the
saying
way they
is
try and use
you
this
wouldn't
phrase
use that with
feels a
somebody
little
when
too like attacked, right? Like they
Yeah,
try
so
to attack
what-
a lot of people with this phrase when it's a little out of pocket when it maybe shouldn't be used.
Well, so what I'm saying, trying to say, masculinity is the reason somebody would run into the building to rescue you out of burning fire. That's
And that's
literally
not
the masculinity.
Yeah.
And like at that point, you don't give a fuck how toxic this masculinity is. So that's what I'm saying. Like masculinity cannot be toxic. Only people can be toxic. Masculinity is just by itself, and toxic has nothing to do with masculinity.
The way you're phrasing it makes sense, but you can
Yeah, of course.
also agree that the way I'm phrasing it makes sense. Someone using their masculine traits, not just being toxic as a human being, but a man using their masculine traits because they're maybe stronger, louder, whatever it may be, because it's something that they're masculine. Using that to be toxic to someone is the way that I can see how it's framed correctly. Toxic masculinity.
In the case of the prisoners, yeah, I can see that when you take it to the extreme, where
It doesn't have to be extreme. You're just toxic and you're using
yeah,
masculine
but see,
traits.
what that
just break
does,
it down, right? Like that makes sense.
what that does, it says, okay, well, we're gonna have to put a cutoff somewhere, but then nobody can decide on what the cutoff is, so we're gonna put a cutoff at here. So now masculinity in general is being toxic, because what's happening right now, a lot of liberal women, like literally there's TikToks and things like that about it, a lot of liberal women are starting to date conservative men because they want the chivalry in masculinity. They can't find it in liberal men. They're saying that they're nice, they treat me great, but masculinity is not there. Like those qualities are not
That's
there.
something that a lot of women look at as what makes you attractive.
Yes.
Not necessarily a good person, but you're attractive.
That's what makes you
to me.
attractive. So what I'm trying to say, there's masculinity and there's somebody being toxic. And those people that are toxic would utilize, just like you're saying, the masculinity trait to be toxic, which is fine. But that's not everyone that's masculine is toxic.
There you go.
Majority of people that are masculine are not toxic. And majority of those people are rescuing you from a fire in a burning building. That's what does. Anyway, the point is that there's this shift, and then you have mainstream psychology being shifted one way, and this and that, and I think we're on the forefront of shit about to go down. So now you're gonna get all these people that are super soft, and you're gonna pick people that are just like, I don't give a fuck, this is what it is, you want to cancel me, like this is who I am. And there's gonna be a huge gap in between the two. I think you're gonna get the sneaky fucks. They're gonna come in and try to pretend we're for women just to smash. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna get guys that be like, I don't give a fuck. And you're gonna have to choose a camp.
Okay, I can see your breakdown. That's 2 hours. All right, let's call it. Thank you guys for coming in today. Good episode.
Yeah, guys, I shouldn't have drink because I'm a little buzzed and I don't like this.
You got a little buzz.
I don't like
I
this
felt
at
it.
all.
I felt it a little bit too. It was nice. We got a little relaxed on the pod today. It's nice. I like
Buzz
it.
Lightyear.
Yeah, I don't have to work tomorrow, so I was like, yeah, whatever.
Thank you guys for coming in. Everybody who came in the chat, I really appreciate that. So I don't know how we're gonna be doing the next couple weeks. We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
We'll let you guys know before Tuesday. Even if I'll be going live regardless, some kind of live will go on during Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, I'm coming on live.
You-
I'll wake up for it in the morning. That's not.
You don't have to do that, bro.
I know, but I want to.
And if you do that, great. I'll whether Mickey
Yeah, I'll do that.
would like to do it from home or
I'm
not.
not
I'll
gonna
probably
be able to sleep anyway.
I'm
It
probably
doesn't
just gonna
matter.
come in here and turn it all on, and I'll sit on the couch by myself if I have to. I don't care. That'll be all right.
Yeah, I probably won't even sleep until that time, and I'm just gonna sleep in the morning. This is good.
Shit. Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you guys to everybody who came in and saw us in the chat and stuff. Our gentleman who hit us up in the chat earlier, I saw you message up on Instagram. I'll see what's up with that. I will hit you up now. You guys have a great night. Thank you guys for coming in. Love y'all. See you.